This is your 60-second countdown. Just swept away. Yeah! Got straight through.
And that is beautifully done.
Very good off the bat.
Cut away. Oh my goodness! 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's game time.
Hello and welcome back to Bears TV at a sunny, glorious-looking EdgBLASTon this evening. We've got Birmingham Bears hosting top of the table Lancashire Lightning. Yeah, Lancashire, they're going really, really well. Bears currently down in 6th, so they need to find themselves a win and they need to find it fast if they're to keep their hopes of a quarter-final alive. I'm Georgia Heath. I'm joined by Mel Farrell and Oliver Hannon-Dolby. Good evening to you both. How are you?
I'm really great because we're sitting down. This is the first time in my life that I've ever been almost as tall as Oliver Hannon-Dolby. And I can actually look him straight in the eye. Yeah. Oh, look, he sits up now. He's
as well. Yeah.
No, yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, it's great. Like you say, it looks glorious out there, and two very good sides. I think this Lancashire side's sort of Galacticos out there. There's a lot of big names in their side, so it should be a very entertaining day.
Yeah, they seem to have been absolutely flying so far this season. We have heard that they are without a few of their players through injury. Obviously, no one ever wishes injury upon anyone, but it's a bit of a relief sometimes when you see a team list that doesn't have Liam Livingstone and Saqib Mahmood in it for that Lancashire side. But still, they've got a lot of firepower in there, haven't they, Mel?
Yeah, they do. And isn't it amazing? You see it quite often in a season when a team that is struggling, for example, in the championship, switches format. And all of a sudden, it's completely different. Players who are struggling to find confidence, all of a sudden, seem to just get in touch with it straight away. And we've definitely seen that with Lancashire and the way that their season's gone. But they are flying high at the moment.
And Bears currently down at 6th at the moment in the table. Obviously, there's almost coming to that sort of squeaky bum must-win kind of situation. What do you think the discussions will have been like coming into this game?
Well, I think that sort of the first half of the T20 competition is where you don't want to eliminate yourselves. Now, this back end of the competition, albeit we're at 6th, and that's not really where you want to be. This is where you can really get some brilliant momentum into the latter stages. There's been plenty of years where we've done really well early on and lost momentum at the back end. Whereas now we'll be talking about winning a good chunk of these last few games, and you can really build momentum into the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and finals, hopefully.
Yeah, just got to take down the team that's flying high at the moment. We've got a few players playing against old teams as well. So I like that kind of rivalry, switching over and then taking down your old team. There's always that little bit of extra something, isn't there, Mel?
Yeah, an interesting thing, Richard Gleeson. Coming back in and playing against his former club. Of course, he's only played one game this season, was very economical, only went at 6s and over. Back here at a place where I was lucky enough to see his international debut that he made here at EdgBLASTon a few years back. So that's obviously going to be a really big one for them. And Chris Green as the other one as well. I actually ran into a few of the Lancs players at a cafe on my way here today, and Chris Green was one of them, and was just talking about how much he loves living in Manchester. So I don't know how that sits with you.
Must be the weather.
I was bigging up Birmingham, but a few of them there, and he was one of them. So very much, I think, for him, looking forward to being back here.
Oh, well, we know that they're caffeinated then, but I'd love to know a few more of the stats and a bit of nuggets to look out for. So, Aaron, what have you got for us?
Well, good evening, folks. Good evening, Georgia. Yeah, we've got some great stats here tonight, and I think I'm going to lead off, actually, with the head-to-head. So, in terms of the record that Lancashire possess at EdgBLASTon, it's not great, especially in the last decade. 5 straight losses in T20s against the Bears here in the second city. So, we'll have plenty of stats and tidbits throughout the night, but in terms of overall head-to-head records, the Bears definitely can bring plenty of confidence heading into this one.
So So if Birmingham's the second city, where does Manchester come in?
Oh
that?
wow! This, you don't want to pull up this thread. I think this is a hell of a debate.
I think it depends who you're talking to as well. Well, this is a lot who will refer to Birmingham as the second city, and you never know, maybe the first city. So let's have a look at how the Bears team line up for this evening's clash. Do you want to talk us through this one?
Yeah, Al Davis at the top of the order and is captaining, again playing against his old side in Lancashire. He'll be opening the batting with Tom Latham, Kiwi international, Kiwi captain as well. Has been impressive all year in all formats for us. Dan Mousley, a very proud local lad. He's got a good record in this format, so it'll be exciting to see what he can do tonight. Sam Hain, Mr. Reliable, coming in at number 4. Again, having another brilliant season, as he always seems to do. At 5, I think he's Ed Barnard. Brilliant all-rounder. He's been great for us since he came up the road from Worcester, and he's been doing really well. Yatesy, coming in at what number now? 6, I think. Also bowls a bit of off-spin, very useful off-spin, as well as being able to whack it, so he's good down the order. George Garton bowls express pace, left armour, 90 miles an hour, and can whack it down at the death as well. The effervescent Hassan Ali, what a man this guy is, a lovely human being, and he's been going really well so far in the blast, got loads of wickets, got a couple of fifers, I think. Danny Briggs, again, another Mr. Reliable, we call him the GOAT, leading wicket taker ever in the blast. And Craig Miles as well, bowls zippy fast seamers, and he's an absolute live wire in the field, so keep your eye out for him. And finally, we've talked about already, Glees, he bowls rapid and is incredibly economical, always seems to go at something like 5 and over, so yeah, keep your eye out for Glees' economy tonight. He normally does a good job. Yeah,
I think that's something that's going to be really important to try and negate this Lancashire batting lineup that we know is quite strong.
Got a bit of firepower.
It's got a bit of firepower in there, even without some of the top guns up the top like Liam Livingstone. But you never know what can happen on the day. Someone like Hassan Ali, obviously 19 wickets in the blast already so far. He's got a 6 first, so he's going pretty well. So if that can negate a Lancashire side, if anything can, that can.
Yeah.
So this is how they line up. I mean, Phil Salt up the top there. Keaton Jennings captaining the side. Josh Butler in there as well. I mean, talk about firepower. Luke Wells as well. Ashton Turner, Michael Jones, Jack Blatherwick, Chris Green, the Aussie in there. Tom Hartley back in today. James Anderson, Sir James Anderson, we should say. And then Luke Wood down at the end. And that's a pretty strong lineup, isn't it, Mel?
Yeah, it really is. Just looking up the top there, that top 3, interestingly enough, it's Keaton Jennings who's been their highest run scorer for the season. You talk about turning around with confidence. So to see him in that top 3, he's the one who's actually scored the most runs. That almost feels like a bonus without being disrespectful to Keaton Jennings. It's just when you look at the strike power around him, he's having a fantastic season in the blast, and that's actually really, really nice to see.
Yeah, well, Lancashire, as we said, are sitting at the top of the table at the moment. They've been going along really well. Played 9, won 7 of them, lost only 2. For the Bears, played 10, so played that extra game, and it's 50-50 for them at the moment. So won 5 and lost 5. So they are still up there in that top 4 at the moment. You can see there's a few struggling down at the bottom, and we're focusing on this top 4 at the moment. So trying to push themselves up the table now. Warwickshire trying to get a win on the board today, but Lancashire, they just want to carry on sitting pretty at the top, put themselves into those quarterfinals and have a home quarterfinal. But it is all to play for still today. Nothing is over until both teams have batted. We've already seen a nail-biter of a finish today in the women's game. It was, unfortunately for the Bears, not their day. Surrey winning it and staying top of the table in the women's. But this track that we played on earlier, it was quite tacky at times. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays differently in the men's and to women's, whether they can read the pitch in the same way. Because we heard that it was a little difficult to get it away at times.
Yeah, it was one of those matches where it never really seemed like any of the batters were in. Even after they'd been out there for a while. There were some really sort of scratchy runs scored. The ball seemed to be stopping in the pitch a little bit. There wasn't much turn on offer, but it just seemed to be just holding in the pitch a little bit. So it made things quite difficult for the batters. Different proposition here, I think, for when you've got the firepower in the batting and not needing the pace on the ball to actually generate that. It might be a very, very different story.
Yeah, and it is a fresh pitch, but interesting that Warwickshire have decided to go with Craig Miles instead of Jake Lintott. Jake Lintott's played loads of cricket for us so far this year in T20 and he has done well like he has done in previous years. But yeah, interesting, we've gone with the extra seamer in Craig Miles rather than Linners, so there's obviously a strategy there.
So Bears have lost the toss and they've been put into bat. What do you make of that?
I think certainly stats say this year you are better off chasing, so I would think that's what Lancs have done. They've decided that they want to chase under lights. Not that the lights are going to take too much effect on this glorious evening. I think it's going to be glorious sunshine at 10 o'clock still tonight, but maybe it dews up a little bit and it's a little bit easier to bat on later on. Interesting, there is a really short boundary here. We've got a big side over to the Holly stand, but the other side is a little bit shorter, so I think expect all evening batters to be trying to utilise that and the bowlers try to defend it. Could be quite hard work, I'd imagine, for bowlers tonight. It's literally just 50 yards over there, so it'd be quite hard work.
Yeah, well, you've been put into bat and you see this man walk out to the middle. He seems to be absolutely flying in the T20 Blast this year. Well, we heard him say he sort of felt like he'd missed out on an opportunity. Well, he's grasped it with both hands this year, gone right and back into Blast duty and absolutely loving it.
Yeah, sure has. Jimmy Anderson, 12 wickets at about 10.5 and a strike rate of 9.5. That is pretty amazing, pretty similar actually, as far as strike rates and average to Hassan Ali, even though Hassan Ali obviously has 7 more wickets because he's played more. But yeah, it's brilliant. I absolutely love seeing this renaissance for Jimmy Anderson. He just keeps going and going and going.
And it's a great lesson. He could easily rest on his laurels and be sat on a golf course right now, or relaxing. But he said, no, I want to carry on playing, carry on doing something different, play T20 cricket that, like you say, he feels like he's missed out on for the last 10 years, and he's doing really well. So it's a great lesson to any sort of young cricketer out there that you've never completed the game, you've always got stuff to learn, you've always got stuff to improve on, and it's great to see. And
stuff to contribute as well. Exactly, he's such a proud, of course, Lancashire man, and the Burnley Bradman. Or Burnley Lara, I should say. I've got my grades mixed up.
Well, if we're seeing him with the pads on tonight, well, the Bears have done really well.
Just never know. But he obviously wants to keep contributing to his county as well. And I mean, full of beans, jumping up and down. He's as fit as ever. Surely this must inspire you to keep on playing for another 8 or 9 years, Ollie.
Mention me in the same breath as Sir Jimmy Anderson. That's a very nice compliment. But he's fit as a fiddle. Also, watch out for Luke Wood, who's going to be bowling at the other end to him. I'd imagine he bowls really sharp with the new ball and swings it back into the right-handed batters. And he's a bit of a live wire himself. So keep your eye out for Woody. He's a very good young bowler.
Yeah, it's an exciting prospect ahead. I mean, we talked about their batting and now onto their bowling. It feels like there's not very many chinks in this armour at the moment, but you do know that this Bears team, on their day, they can absolutely fly should they need to. It's still a strong looking lineup and the home advantage as well here at EdgBLASTon, which is just a wonderful place to come watch cricket, play cricket, and just a few fans still rolling in this evening. I don't even know what day of the week it is. Wednesday?
Oh, I've no idea.
Wednesday, yeah,
rolling in Wednesday evening. Why not?
It's match day -1 for the test. That's actually how my brain works, so I've no idea what day of the week it is. I actually found Aaron's bit of info there about them not having won here since, when was it?
2015.
2015.
2015, yep.
That's wild to me.
It's a decade of dominance. That's what's going to continue tonight.
Hopefully it continues, yeah.
Well, that is the hope, but I suppose for any superstitious Lancashire fans out there listening, of course, 2015 was the year that Lancashire won the Blast. So,
and if we know anything about cricket fans, it's that they're superstitious. So we will take that, and Bears fans can take that one. We're going to look to try and continue the decade of dominance now. I'm going to slide elegantly out of the seat, and Adam and I are going to try not to fall over each other as we rotate. And I'll leave you to get underway with Adam, Mel, and Oliver.
Thanks, Georgie.
Yeah, it looks like we're starting with Luke Wood. Looks like he's pipped Jimmy Anderson, and he's going to be taking the first over from the pavilion end. Be interested who takes. I think Dave might take the first ball. So we get underway on this fresh pitch. It has been played on previously just today. It's been used by the women in today's fixture earlier today. It was an absolute thriller. So hopefully we have something similar tonight.
Yeah, because the women don't scuff up. The women are much tidier. They clean up after themselves. They don't mess up the pitch.
I take it Jimmy's chosen that he wants to go at the other end, probably, I'm going to guess.
I don't know. I think Luke Wood's actually got a brilliant record at taking wickets in the first over, so I think that's probably why. And yeah, left arm, fast swinging it is just a little bit different, so probably why they've gone with him. He's probably said to, sorry Jimmy, I'm taking the first, you go up that in, pal.
What a beautiful evening it is as well, isn't it?
I mentioned that before. Absolutely love sitting up here and looking out over the city skyline. It's a fantastic sight.
And
Big game this as well, isn't it? Feels like a big game. Feels like a really important game for a win tonight.
Yeah, then this is, like I said earlier, this is where you try to start building momentum. But obviously on the flip side, if you don't, you can end up sort of sliding down that table towards the end you don't want to be at very quickly. So yeah, feels like a good one to win tonight. Hopefully start climbing that table up towards the top 4 spots. Lancs clearly know Davo well. He's good on the cut, and they've got a deep point out straight away. Luke Wood comes charging in.
Certainly does from this pavilion end.
Very swing, a little bit of swing there straight away as he slams away back of a length. Nice zippy ball there from Woody.
So Rob Bailey's out there and Simon Widdop. You were telling us you used to play with him.
Yeah, this is how you know you're getting on. When I used to play league cricket with Simon Widdop in the Yorkshire League for Barnsley. It was our opening bat. He was brilliant. He used to whack it to all part, especially on the back foot. He used to pull and cut for fun. But yeah, brilliant player, lovely fellow. But he's gone into his umpiring recently. He was a school teacher when I played with him, so he's only gone into umpiring the last 4 or 5 years, but he's doing well. It's nice to see, Wids.
Kind of fits that, doesn't it? School teacher to umpire. There's a kind of a feeling or a ring to that. There is a bit of shape there, isn't there, for Wood?
Yeah, you see him just cramping in for room there. Yeah, swinging it at good paces, and being a left armer is a pretty good asset. So, pretty good ball there from Woody.
I saw in the women's game earlier, it was like the left armers, as we discussed, I'm also left-handed, so I always notice that. It was a real day for the left armers today.
Very prized assets. If you can have a left armer on your side, it's they're a prized possession.
George Garton to come, of course, later for the Bears. He's on the money straight away here, Luke Wood.
Yeah, really good start. Just try to swing it into Davos, who's got that catch in mid-wicket or mid-wicket in to just stop him getting that easy single. So a very nice tight start here.
Saw Luke Wells there. I think Aaron's got a decent stat about Luke Wells when he comes to bat later, which we'll tuck into. He was up last night beavering till gone midnight working on that one for us.
Yeah, very good. More commitment. Oh, what a lovely shot. Slightly overpicked there by Luke Wood, but Davo equal to it and just chips him over the top of 4. It's a lovely shot. What a lovely cricket shot. Could have been at the test match there.
Delightful finish as well, wasn't it, from Davo? He's always got a lovely finish when he's hit a shot like there, he isn't it?
Yeah. We're still bringing the ball back into him, but he's had a few sighters now. As Alec Davies.
Not loads wrong with that ball. I mean, you want to try swing it, you want to try pitch up a little bit, maybe slightly on the pitch, but not loads wrong with it. So it's a lovely cricket shot from Davo. And again. Now this is where bowling's hard in white ball cricket, because you get a red ball duke, and it swings so much, and then gradually throughout the day that swing dissipates. Now with a white ball, it's a bit more like an on-off switch. It's swinging nice, the batter can hit it once and then swing disappears just because, I don't know, it goes out of shape or whatever happens. And you see there, Luke Wood set that off in the exact same line as the balls before that hasn't swung, and he's offered him width. And the bowling coach saying, you gave him width. But it's just like, it takes you a while to figure out what the ball's actually doing. And then when the swing goes, that's it. You're never getting it back type thing. So they've lost a slip here, and they're protecting it with the extra person in the covers.
Yeah, that's also the short boundary.
Yeah, you saw that Davo nearly hit that one for 6.
It's a wide ball.
Wide ball.
Yeah, got a bit of lift there, didn't he?
Yeah, sharp, skiddy bumper.
It's funny though, you gave him a great 3-dot balls to start with, and all of a sudden the over looks not very good after 2 fine balls.
I'm obviously here on a Bears shirt on, but it's tough being a ball because you want to use your bouncer. You got it slightly wrong there, wide, and that's it. You've used your one bouncer for the over. You now can't use another bouncer. So Davo knows this is probably going to be fuller than it is shorter. So tough being a bowler sometimes, especially in white ball.
Oh, he's got him. He's got him. Well, it was full, and he's played on, and Davo is on his way.
Yeah, not the greatest delivery. Woody bowled that over. I'd give him a bit of width, really, didn't he? Again, not swinging. I think that swing might have disappeared now. Being interested to see if Jimmy Anderson at the other end swings it. But yeah, offering Dave a width on his favourite cut shot, and Dave will be very, very disappointed that he's chopped it on.
Yes, we've seen in 1 over everything swing completely from one way to the other and then back again. Started off the over so well, then Davies just got hold of him a few times and probably got out in a way that won't have pleased him too much. Something that was probably right in his zone as well. So just take another look at the replay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Dave will be disappointed. That's one of his favourite shots, the cut shots. So that's probably why he's so disappointed. Yeah, if I blow him a cut ball, he whacks it normally. So that's why he'll be disappointed with himself. But you know, that's the nature of opening the batting in T20. You get a good ball, or you've got to try and get your team off to a flyer. 9 off the over. Won't be too disappointed with that.
No, Mouse is in, and it is going to be James Anderson from the far end.
So Jimmy, we'll be interested to see if he swings it here. Not a massive amount of breeze today for him to work with, but got a relatively new ball. We'll be interested to see if he swings it.
And Mosley's leg side now is the long boundary as well out towards the Holly stand.
What a lovely cricket shot.
Yeah, Latham does that, doesn't he? Very, very, very comfortable.
He's a bit more of a classic, you know, he's not a T20 whacker, is he? He's a classical batter, and he looks very simple. He stands still, picks his hands up and drops his bat on the ball, doesn't he? And it seems to ping off.
I get the feeling it's not the first time he's done that to James Anderson either, to be fair.
Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not.
Oh, straight away.
Just a little bit of nibble across him there. I'm not sure if it's swing or seam, but yeah, that's a lovely answer to the ball before. Just angling across, bit of seam movement, nearly catching the edge.
His appetite for cricket is extraordinary, isn't it?
Like I say, it's great, it's brilliant. You know, how good that he's still wanting to play and learn and get better. And I'd pass, I'm sure there's some Lancs bowlers here going to learn lots from him playing, so I think brilliant.
Did England call time too soon, do you think? He'll take that. It's 4 runs.
He'll take it. He'll take it. Bit of a bottom edge, bit of a toe of the bat.
How quickly did that ball race to the boundary?
Yeah, it's short
By
down
the
there.
way, that is short.
Like Mel said, the Holly stand is to Tom Latham's leg side here, so it's quite big out there. I'm guessing 70, 75 yards, but to the offside from backward point all the way to deep mid-off is very short, 50 yards, so it's going to fly down there today, I'd imagine.
I mean, I've been to a few championship games here when you've been playing as well, and when those outer pitches are being used, and I always have just really feel for the bowlers in those games, especially some of them you're bowling with a kookaburra ball, and you had that short boundary like they've got out there today. How much of a challenge does that become?
You've got to try forget about it, but I'm not going to lie, it does play in your head a little bit, thinking, oh gosh, if I drop one shot here, it's going to be the easiest 6 in the world to try whack it over that short boundary.
No, he's got his man. Latham's on the way. The Bears are 2 down, and Jimmy Anderson strikes with his 5th ball.
Well, he's nicked him off, but perhaps not to where he was planning to. We haven't got a slip in, but that ball, perhaps an indication of the good pace in this pitch, has carried all the way to short 3rd man, and it was a good catch taken. I'm not too sure by who, but yeah, angling across Tom Latham there, bit of a thick outside edge, and caught at short 3rd man. Not the most common catch in the slips, a deep 3rd. Is it a deep gully or is it a short 3rd man? I'm not too sure, but I think Mr. Anderson will take that as a nick off.
Ashton Turner with a catch, and Latham's on his way, and the 2 openers are back in the hutch, and Sam Hain's on his way.
Yeah, let's have a look at this here. Again, I'm not sure we're seeing loads of swing, but just whatever seam movement is there, he's obviously able to utilise. Yeah, what a good catch that is. Time forward at short 3rd man.
Yeah, that's That's the thing with Anderson, isn't it? He doesn't just rely on swing. He's got so many different strings to his bow.
Oh, so I think listening to him and Broad talking, a few things I've listened to, they talk about big wobble seams, little wobble seams, try to seam it that way, and it's, it's amazing the skills they have. Is incredible just to try utilise any sort of movement they can get from a pitch or from a ball. But this is exactly what Lancs would have wanted. 2 brand new batters to the crease in the second over. There's massive stats around if you can get teams 3 down in the power play that you win 80% of games or something like that. So a bit of rebuilding to be done here by the Bears. Sam Hain to the crease. They've got a slip in for him. And another good stop there. This time at short fine leg, I think again by Turner. Stopped almost a certain 4 because it's short down there. He's going to run away.
Phil Salt with the fielding, and that completes the second over. 18 for 2.
Every great team has its unsung heroes. The all-rounders, the heavy lifters, putting their organisation on the map. We're talking about you, the humble IT engineer, supporting EdgBLASTon across the season. They're the ones delivering, day after day.
Hain's going to be on strike. Luke Wood is going to get a second over here. Well, we've got you here as well. Visual kind of congratulations with the news of fatherhood.
I know, yeah,
pending.
thank you, yeah. Got a bit of fun to come in late September, should be fun.
How well has the
advice?
How well has the dog taken the news? That's the important thing.
Well so far.
Yeah.
Well so far, yeah, we've got all that to come. Buying prams and whatnot, and
Listen, I gave you my advice yesterday on the old message. Just don't have girls. No offence.
Oh, what?
they're causing you headaches.
Well, I will
saying?
explain. So we had 2 boys to start with, and I have to say, genuinely, as I sit here, my boys have not caused. They're 25 and 23. They've not caused me a moment of concern. My daughters, that's a different story.
Wow.
I think that's a reflection on your parenting.
Yeah, good shout. Yeah, good shout.
That's what I say.
It could be. It could be.
Oh,
wow, what extraordinary bit of cricket.
well,
Now Sam Hain going for the scoop there over fine leg.
Yeah.
He's
Look,
changed his mind.
adjusting, firing in the wide half volley, Yorker, and in the scorebook, I was going to say he's run it down to third man. However, when you watch that back, it's a quite extraordinary bit of cricket.
Excellent bit of improvisation, that wasn't it?
well, he actually adjusted really well. It was quite late, and just managed to open the face in the end.
Yeah, perhaps an indication there, Sam's our Mr. Reliable, thinking we maybe need to get on with it a little bit because he's perhaps wouldn't normally try a boundary so early in his innings. It brings Dan Mousley to face his first ball. Feels like he's been out there a while to not face the ball yet.
He's going to get a boundary straight up.
Yeah.
It's his birthday yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure how old he was.
I don't know, actually.
I want to say 24 or 25? 24.
Still
There we
a
go.
young man, yeah.
I was sent some very lovely photos of him as a child yesterday by a mutual friend. They were like, "Can you get them on the stream?" I'm like, "I don't think I can do that to Dan, really."
Not broadcastable, but yeah, he's very strong off his legs. Again, I think we can safely say that swing has gone now. It would just strain onto Dan Mouse's legs. It was a slight bit aerial. Mid wicket was interested for a little while, but luckily missed it and went for 4. Again,
Yeah, lovely shot.
Dan indicating how good he is off those legs. That is where he's really, really strong.
Seriously, that ball has reached the boundary rope almost before it's left his bat. It's gone that quickly.
Or I think it's Phil Salt out there, deep square legged in. Couldn't move very far before it whacked into the hover cover. Very well timed.
And that's the thing about that short boundary that you talk about getting in your head. It must be so hard to put it out of your head.
Yeah, it sucks you in both as a batter and a bowler. You just think, it's only a clip over there, and you end up trying to whip one outside off stump to the short leg side boundary. So interesting to see what Wood replies here. Like replies well with a heavy length ball bang on off stump. Good reply. Mouse gets off strike.
I see, it's interesting you call him Mousley because I call him Mosley.
And I think you're right. I think
I am
I
right.
think his family say Mosley as in the district
suburb.
up there. But we all call him Mouse or Mouse.
Danger Mouse.
And now we've done it for 5 years. Sorry if the Moses are listening. I'm sorry. I know I'm getting it wrong.
Do you know what? I actually checked with him because I didn't know. I kept getting confused. Oh. Wow. Forget the short boundary when you can strike it like that. Fielder was interested for a moment.
Hain gave himself room there, and he just got, I think it's Luke Wells, who's a tall man at mid-wicket, just got it over him for 4 runs. So good over for the Bears there. 14 off it.
Anytime you see someone pulling the ball in front of square like that, just...
Yeah, those of us who can do it well, like me and Sam Hain, Rishabh Pant, you know, it's nice to see, isn't it?
Is that your favourite shot to play?
Yeah. I'll be honest, I do get the occasional pull away, but it's more because there's a very short leg side boundary, and I'm thinking I'll just have a big hack here if they drop it short.
No, I'm a fan of your batting. You are the great wall of EdgBLASTon.
Yeah, I think I've come to the realisation that my stats aren't about averages or strike rates, they're about how many balls I face.
Yeah, balls faced.
Yeah. If I face 18 balls with someone like Hain on mouse, I'd like to think you've scored a few runs to face something of that team.
You are the great wall of EdgBLASTon.
Yeah.
Aaron is now desperately looking to try and find how many balls
ball
you have
faced.
faced.
What was the innings? There was one innings in particular. Was that when you...
I think it took me 67 balls to get off 0.
That's fantastic.
It was against Surrey here, and me and Michael Burgess put on, I think I think we put on 100.
Weren't you injured?
150? No,
Was
that was a long
one.
time ago. That was with batting at Taunton in 2013. I broke my arm.
Yes.
And managed to bat out for a draw for a while.
So you like a Graham Smith and a Roll Dravid in
oh
one.
wow, I like those comparisons. Mr. Anderson again.
It's a lovely shot that.
Slightly over pitch, you'd say, and it's a lovely cover drive there from Dan Mosley.
I feel really bad now.
Showing his full repertoire, both through the leg side and the offside. Yeah, it's a lovely delivery. Interesting here how Luke Woods had 2 overs, Jim Anderson's going 2 in a row. Sometimes, despite how well they might have bowled, but captains like to change it up just for the variety of, a new bowler. It tends to take 2 balls out of the over. Let's say if Chris Green had bowled this over, it might just take 2 balls for the batters to have a look. So interesting how they've gone back to back. Mr. Anderson comes in again and whacks a bit more of a heavy length this time.
Just some of the shots that Dan Mosley has played have just been beautiful, traditional cricket shots.
Yeah.
You know?
For the purists, eh?
He has been throwing them out there for the purists. Obviously, that just shows the range of his game because he's got so many different shots he can play.
Yeah, and I think maybe an indication of this looks like a pretty good pitch to me. It looks pretty good pace. Looks like it's coming on nicely and not loads of seam movement and swing, so could be nice to bat on. Down the track this time, Mouse. Bit of a cloth, I'm not going to lie. Not his cleanest strike, but still gets 4 over long on.
He will enjoy doing that to Jimmy Anderson as well, won't he?
He'll be dining.
He will absolutely be
dining out on that. Nether Whittaker will be training tomorrow night. He'll be down there saying, "Did you see me, Whack Anderson?"
But that's it, isn't it? The bigger the reputation, the greater the target.
Yeah, you're right.
I did say to him yesterday in his birthday message, I went, I'll see you upstairs after, because he does have a tendency to pick up the Player of the Match awards and find his way up here after the game.
Gave himself room again, and he hit that really well. It was a clean strike of the ball, never in the air, long for all the way, and it's good. Just managed to pick out the fielder. Not straight over, it was good stopping the covers there. So a bit of an action dot ball there.
Yeah, but it's a nice contest.
We haven't seen any pace off yet. We've not seen any sort of slower balls or cutters or anything of that kind. Which is interesting. It will be interesting to see if it does grip a bit, like you said it might have done in the women's game earlier on.
Nice shot again.
Good clip.
Well placed.
Loads long that delivery. He was just angling across onto middle and off, and it was a great clip there from Mouse in front of square.
It looks like he's seeing it like a football, to be fair. He's very, very comfortable.
Yeah. 21 off 8 balls, he's going well.
There was that one shot down the ground where he didn't get it so cleanly, but that was just a flick.
Very well timed. Fast outfield as well. It's flown. Even that's the long side, and it's flown off. Change of field here. Both out on the leg side, deep mid wicket and deep square.
What a shot.
Wow.
Did I tell you about that time I took 16 off Jimmy Anderson in 1 over? I can hear
well,
it
I mean,
now.
that's a tough field to bowl to. You've got deep mid-wicket and deep square. You've basically got to bowl dead straight, perhaps bowling a bit too straight there. Just erring down the leg side, and a bit of an easy flick over fine leg for 4.
Well,
good over there for the Bears.
Runs-wise, it's a decent start after 4 overs, isn't it? 48 for 2.
And we do have a change of bowling. We've got Chris Green coming on, the ex-Bear, spent a season here, and I'm not sure what year now, but it was a brilliant fella. Top cricketer, really thorough professional. You know, the way he trained, the way he prepared, did his stats and did his preparation on every every batter and bowler he might face in a game. He was very diligent. Now, people at home will watch this and think, he's not ragging it like Shane Warne, he's not turning it square, but there's lots of very subtle little changes and variations. He's an off spinner, but he's got balls that flick out and go the other way, like carom balls. He's got arm balls that swing away, then arm balls that swing in, fast and slow. There's lots of little subtle changes going on here that it's quite hard to pick up on from up here and on the camera, but he's plied his trade all over the world now, and he always does pretty well. In the Big Bash, in the Caribbean Premier League, he's always goes well, so he's a very canny operator, he's Chris Green, and a good man.
So he's always well sought after when it comes to Big Bash time, isn't he, as a player?
In all of them, and it's for precisely those reasons that, as you say, he's not a big turner of the ball, but he's just so canny and has really well organised plans.
Yeah, it'd be similar to Danny Briggs in that regard. We call Danny Canny Danny because he's smart. And Chris Green's very similar. He'd be tough to get away, I'd imagine.
Aaron, what year was he here?
2019, remember that vividly. He was meant to have come back in 2020 as well as the captain, but unfortunately something had other plans than it in 2020, so that wasn't to be the case. But Green's had a great time at Lancashire. He feels like a born and bred Lancastrian. He's loving life up in Manchester, and in terms of his season so far, 11 wickets, he's been outstanding across competitions. So a great pickup, and someone who Lancashire fans will be hoping will be staying at the club for a very, very long time.
Sorry.
I was just going to say, interestingly, he was telling me one of the things that he loves most about coming here and playing in the Blast. It's good running in the end.
Yeah, good running.
Very good running. But what he really loves, he was saying, is the fact that when he comes over here, as the 50 comes up for the Bears in just the 5th over, halfway through the 5th over, that's terrific stuff. But the fact that he's not staying in a hotel for a month or so, which is what you often have to end up doing in a lot of these tournaments around the world. So the fact he's just living in Manchester and feeling like part of the whole scene and community there.
That's great. Oh, that's a good shot. Over to that short side, maybe slightly short of a length. That's sort of a bit of a Josh Butler shot we've seen there. 5 years ago, batters might rock back and just try to cut that for 4 through the point area, but since Josh Butler's come on the scene, we've seen batters try to whack that for 6 over extra cover, which Hain does try to do there. It's a good shot.
37 partnership between these two now. No time at all.
A bit unlucky there from Sam. Got away well on one there, a little bit green. He has given him width there to that short offside boundary, and it was a good stop. I'm not sure by who. Might have been Turner at point there. Sorry, Jones. Good stop, saved his team 4 there. But it's an interesting dilemma here for Mouse, because he has got a short leg side boundary. Does he try to have a whack, or does he just tickle it around? I'm not too sure.
7 off the over so far. What a shot that is!
Wow.
What a shot! 6 runs.
Wow.
Wowzers.
How do you feel when you're a bowler and someone does that to you? He loves it too. Look at the smile on his face. Loves
He's
it.
enjoyed that one.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, who needs a short leg side boundary when you can do that over the long offside boundary? So it's a hell of a hit from Mouse. And another good over for the Bears.
Well, it's 13 off the over. Ollie, you're going to leave us for a few minutes. George is coming back in. Ollie will be back soon as we see that again. I mean, you can't argue with a shot like that, can you? What's he on to now? 32 off 11.
Yeah, this is
absolutely flying.
This could be a really special innings from Dan Mosley. He looks like he is locked in. I've hardly seen a full stroke from him. Most of what his hits come out of the middle of the bat. Many of them landed beyond or across the rope.
They brought Luke Wood back, so they clearly feel that maybe they need a wicket here. So we'll go from the other end, the left armour.
Sam Hain was going along nicely, but at the moment, that's incredible. He's faced just 2 fewer balls than Dan Mosley. He's quite happy to knock it around, get the single, and get Danger Mouse on strike. Because at the moment, he certainly looks dangerous.
Happy to play the role of Penfold, it would appear. That's one for our older viewers.
It's gone straight over my head. As many things do.
45 in 20 balls, this partnership. Oh, and he's gone. Luke Wood has done what he's been brought back to do. Break the partnership and take out Dan Mosley for 32.
Not going to drop that, was he? Leaping above his head, James Anderson. Easy as you like, and exactly as you said, there's the big hitting going on, and now the Danger Mouse is going to have to scuttle back to his piece of cheese.
I was waiting.
I was wondering where I was going to go with that, and that's what I've decided as the end to that sentence.
But I was very entertaining while it lasted. 32 off just 12 balls. But the bowling change, as it turns out, was an inspired one. That is the 3rd wicket to fall within the power play. He's not happy either.
I think Luke Wood enjoyed that by the celebration. I think he gave Dan a little bit of a send-off. And I think Jimmy Anderson enjoyed taking the catch, having been whacked around for 16 in the over prior at that end. He's furious, absolutely furious.
No one making a comment in the dugout. Anything you say is wrong at that point. Just tucked them up, didn't he? Well taken.
We know the quality that Luke Wood has. Yeah, comfortable catch, wasn't it? Well, it was good while it lasted.
I still can't believe it. He knew that he was on a tear as well.
Is this when he has to go and find his gloves that he's just thrown on the floor? Oh, yeah, no, it is.
He needs to put his stuff away, yeah. Ed Barnard's in. Oh, and he's wasting no time whatsoever. That's going all the way for 6 from Barney.
I think if you're going to bowl short, it has to be the right kind of short. Especially when you've got a short boundary to play with.
It's a real intent here tonight, isn't there?
Yeah.
Even though they've lost the 3 wickets, they're still going.
And that one's, it's just not, it's not short enough, is it? It ends up being the perfect height.
Well, finally, Sam Hain gets to have a go again. It feels like he could have just had a chair and camped out at the other end while all the action was going on. Not exactly a poor striker himself. 13 from 9 already. And I think now he has the opportunities to step up and be the big hitter.
I forgot we're still in the power play. It feels like it's been going that long, yeah.
Yeah, that's why when I looked down, I was like, 3rd wicket. Oh, it is still in the power play.
May well end up being the best power play, certainly for runs, that we've seen from the Bears this season. 1 more to the total.
Aaron looks excited. He's winding himself up here.
Was he rubbing his hands again?
No, he wasn't. But maybe if I ask him about dot ball percentage, he'll there's the hand rub. It just came out. So easily pleased.
He is.
I don't think there'd be. I think it would be a very low dot ball percentage, though, the way that those first few overs went with Dan Mosley in particular.
Oh, a lovely shot. Ed Barnard's been in terrific form in all formats so far this season. And that's a lovely shot for 4. And that completes the power play, Aaron. What you got for us?
Well, 74 for 3 is comfortably the highest power play that we've seen at EdgBLASTon in 2025. The average is 48 for 2, so the Bears really taking the attack to this Lancashire bowling unit, and just the 13 boundaries and 2 sixes for the home side so far with just 9 dot balls. It's an outstanding start. These two, they're experienced. Hopefully they can lay a foundation, and if they do, plenty more power to come a little bit later on.
You've brought the power, you two, today. I love this.
What did you say it was normally, the average?
48 for 2.
48 for 2. That's massive as far as above average goes. I mean,
Well, even that previous over, 13 runs and the wicket coming from it. We thought, start with the single and then pressure builds, I guess, wicket straight away, and then out he comes Barnard and says, don't know what you're talking about, pressure. Sends it for 6 into the stands.
Luke Wells.
yeah, you do wonder if pace off maybe the way to go, but then with that short boundary as well, you just know that they'll take on the spinners. Certainly try to.
I guess that's why they've chosen this end.
Yes.
The long boundary on the leg side out towards the Hollies.
Another interesting action, isn't it? His run up. So he found the gap, not quite.
One thing is, I always like to look when you are talking about spinners and short boundaries, long boundaries, as if there is any cross breeze to aid or assist. There's a slight breeze that is going towards Sam Hain's leg side, but not very much.
So there's not too much fluttering in the distance on the flags, is
No, they're fairly limp, the flags, but as they every now and again there's a tiny little bit. There's nothing in the way really of wind assistance.
Wells is one of those awkward bowlers, isn't he? Aaron's nodding. That means his numbers says he's quite awkward too.
He is, yeah. Always
He's got
found that
awkward
with
numbers.
Well, against the Bears, if you are a Bears fan, yes, he has 5 wickets with an economy rate below 7. Tends to like bowling and batting against this club.
I always find that funny how a player can have certain teams that they just really like playing against. And it doesn't matter whether it's home or away. You just come up against that side, and that's the side that you think, right, this is when I step up.
Oh, and just well, I was about to say that's an excellent over, just the 5 singles coming from it. Oh, they tell you what, they are very, very harsh on the old PA.
Well, I mean, partly because Adam, who's pressing the buttons today, comes from Manchester, so he's probably really trying to rub it in.
Well, can Barnard make the most of it?
They're going to get one.
Not really.
No, that'll do though. 7 overs gone. 81 for 3. Tom Hartley time from the Birmingham end.
Straight away, the intention's clear. The use of the feet coming down the track. And Barnard wanting to attack Hartley, the left armer. And sometimes that can be the undoing of a batter as well. when you see they might have their particular spinner of choice that they want to take on, and, immediately are aggressive.
Where was it Hartley tour? Was it India or Pakistan for England?
India.
So you had that one tour where he's pretty successful. Never again.
The tour itself, I can't say it was particularly successful, was it?
No, but he himself
He
bowled very
was.
well, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. And he's gone through a difficult period. He always looks, you see that look of intense concentration on his face before each ball. He's actually got something that he's saying in his head.
Swept hard this time.
Of course, Nathan Lyon, the Australian off spinner, was at Lancashire last year, and so Hartley was kind of playing second fiddle to him, but he learned a lot of things from Nathan Lyon. And I got a lot of tips, of course, from the experienced Australian. And they're coming back for a second. They're going to make it safely. That was good hard running. But so one of the things he will tell himself in his mind is, as silly as it sounds, bowl. Just bowl, because you can get so many other things in your head, thoughts coming up about anything else. So he just says that over and over in his head, just bowl, and that kind of helps him bring him back. I always find that fascinating, the different ticks that different bowlers have, and that's something that he said he kind of starts doing just to try and simplify things and just bring it back to the moment and what he's trying to achieve there. So it sounds like a funny thing to say, right? Bowl. But it's what kind of brings his mind back and not getting distracted by all the other things and other thoughts that are happening.
It was a good first over for him. Don't forget as well, get liking our stream. We had a good afternoon today with the Bears women. I think a couple of thousand likes. Let's see if we can beat that tonight. As we head through the evening, we shall see. Busy time, 86 for 3. And we're going to see Jake Blatherwick into the attack.
Oh. Take that.
There was a noise from both of us there, wasn't there, Mel? As that came off the bat, the crunch that made.
It is flying off that bat tonight. That is the only thing. This is a brilliant start by Warwickshire, despite losing early wickets, going at comfortably over 10 and over. But it's I don't think it's going to get any more difficult to bat, put it that way.
No. Barnard's already on to 20. Made that 24.
Wow.
That's naughty, that is. Naughty with an ORTI.
Just straying down the leg side, and that's the problem when you've got the ball coming on like this. That's not the short boundary. That's probably one of the longer ones, but just the margin for error is so small.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I thought Green and Hartley and Wells didn't kind of concede too many boundaries from memory and just seemed to tie them down to singles. But they've gone back to pace on, despite the fact that the slower bowlers seem to kind of just rein the Bears back in a little. But
well, you saw when they brought Luke Wells back, he got a wicket in that one over. And this partnership is just starting to bear fruit at the moment.
It's up to 33, of which Barnard's got 25 of them. He's certainly the aggressor.
Well, Sam Hain is 21 off 16, right? He's not scoring slowly, but it's felt like he's played second fiddle to first Dan Mosley and now Ed Barnard, and he's got 21 off 16.
It's interesting, when they lose wickets early doors, though, Sam kind of playing this sort of innings is perfect, isn't it? Because he'll come into his own when it gets to 12, 13 overs if he's still there. And then you get the foot down on the accelerator from him. It always feels harsh and difficult when they start really well and don't lose early wickets, and they ask Sam to come in and start blasting, because it's just not him, is it? It's not how he likes to start his innings.
Yeah, he's like an anchor with an afterburner. You know?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
He's just able to plonk himself in there for a while, but you know that he's already scoring well over a run a ball.
I was going to say, you've watched him here for years, haven't you? You've seen and how he's developed his game, particularly in this format. Because before he was still very much that classical player, but he's found shots that you thought, can Sam play those? Well, he's gone and found a way of playing those kind of really different shots that you saw others, which has certainly progressed his game. 97 for 3 then, and not even at the halfway stage yet.
A really good start. I actually had a good chat with Sam Hain in South Africa at the SA20 earlier, because we've obviously got a lot in common, right?
Well, globe-trotting seems to be one of the things that you all have in common. Me and Aaron are just, somewhere between Yorkshire and Birmingham, and that's about it.
Sounds like a holiday destination. Somewhere between
Somewhere.
Yorkshire and Birmingham.
I'm trying to work out what is in between Yorkshire and Birmingham. Well, it depends which
You go
part.
that
Lancashire?
way, yeah,
Lancashire?
No.
Probably somewhere in the Peak District would be about
Yeah.
kind of halfway, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is very pretty,
Oh,
obviously.
beautiful part of the country.
So the fact that you're both Aussies who kind of relocated to here is...
Yes, well, obviously, you could call Birmingham home. Who, yes, who've got ties in both countries. So it was good to have that chat.
Fatherhood is imminent for him as well.
Fatherhood is not imminent for me. We do not share that.
Well, good point, Mel. I wasn't carrying on the comparison, but Right, Georgie's gone. That's it. She's breathe, Georgie. Stop crying and breathe.
You sound like my mum.
Has he got enough of that? Yes, he has. No doubt about it. I think Gary Barwell's move for that one is having a look as to where that ball's ended up. Ed Barnard, such power.
He's just looking at the toe end of his bat there. He's saying it's not even come off the middle. I think I've toe ended this for 6.
100's up, 105 for 3. Barnard on to 33.
Wow. If that was a toe end, and he's got a thick toe end, that was unbelievable. What a great knock this has been. See, again, face the same amount of balls, but Sam Hain just being the solid rock in the middle. And that's allowing the other batters who come in to be able to take some risks if they see the ball. Kind of the perfect partnership, isn't it, when you've got one player who can do that. He did well to get that other one, because you're right, Wells does look really awkward, doesn't he?
Yep.
As in awkward to play, as opposed to awkward within himself.
Feels like simplicity is the key here for Barnard, because when he plays it with a natural simplicity, almost an unfortunate bit of juggling, but that's the halfway stage. 105 for 3. Barnard on 33 and Hain on 9.
Yeah, you take this after being put into bat, wouldn't you, if you're the Bears? Obviously, Lancashire winning the toss earlier decided they wanted to have a chase, which we thought was a pretty standard decision. But I don't think they were quite expecting the Bears to fly like this, especially when they lost Alex Davis so early on, just 9 on the board, Tom Latham not long after. But then that partnership just built after that, didn't it? Before we saw the back of Mousley, whichever end of the bench you're sat at.
Well, the man who's just arrived is sat right in the middle.
Well, there you go.
There you go, yeah. Thanks for having me back.
It's going along quite nicely.
Yeah, going very well. Touch wood. Continues. The change at this end. Chris Green coming back.
Hainey's contributed 9 to this partnership of 43 so far.
Greeny straight away asking Haney a question. We know how Haney's good off his pads. He's got a mid-wicket in to say, I'm not just going to let you milk me constantly. He's taken that mid-wicket from backward point. So he's sort of saying to Haney, I dare you to reverse sweep me. Which is not comfortably or normally something Sam does, but It's an interesting question he's asking him. And he's saying, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try wacky over long on. I'm just getting a single out to Phil Salt.
I love it when there's a partnership and there's so obviously someone doing the really heavy lifting, but it's still a partnership. You know, you can be part of 100, and if you make one of it, it doesn't matter. You're still part of a 100-run partnership.
You've done that yourself?
Yeah, plenty of times. Yeah, when I bat, I'd barely get any of their runs.
I was talking to former England captain Jane Powell once, and she has an identical twin, Jill, and they were batting together once in India. I'll come back to this in just a second. And actually, no one could tell the difference. It was before you had numbers on your back, so no one actually knew who had scored any of the runs, so they just got given a combined score at the end of it.
Oh, brilliant.
And she was determined that she'd made a half-century, but no one will ever know.
Yeah, you'd be spewing that. That's
Yeah.
not good, is it? That's not good. And surely they've used it to their own advantage when, you know, one of them's been out,
Yeah.
but one of them's the better batter.
Yeah.
You nip back in again. Might end up being a bit of a game of two ends, this, I suspect. So this end is going to be hard to hit boundaries unless you do something really expansive over the long side or to the short side with a reverse sweep or something. So it might be just ticking it at this end and then try to be a bit more expansive from the other end with a short side.
They're not looking
Right across his stumps here is Barn.
They've not been looking to be too aggressive against Green, have they? But Barnard
Well, I
then
think they're
does.
trying, but like I said before, he's canny at the moment. It's hard to see from up here, but he's darting in these straight, fast Yorkery type things, which look hard to hit to me.
One ball remaining in the over. 4 from it so far. Run
Yeah.
rate just over 10.
Just saw Keaton Jennings running across the screen there. He was at that mid-wicket. He's now going over to the offside, so they're saying to Sam, you can have an easy single now if you want. We're protecting the over because it's only gone for 4 runs. Quite a smart thing to do. Really slow this time.
Well, you can try
Hit
and hammer
well.
it really hard.
Oh,
for 4.
they've done well. Jeez.
Almost took each other out, didn't they? Phil Salt does the work in the end.
Oh, I didn't like that. I'm not going to lie. That was a bit. I thought we were going to have something dramatic happen there, but they both did really well in the end. I think it was Hartley and Phil Salt both managed to dodge each other and stop 4. So well done. Well done to both of them for missing and for not injuring each other.
11 overs gone, 111 for 3. Hartley's back into the attack, and Barnard is on the attack just for 1, and that brings the 50 partnership up off of 35 balls.
Well played, these two. Hartley going for the tough end, I'd say, with a short leg side boundary. Saw straight away there. He's almost got in a wide Yorker to Barney. I think Barney was eyeing up that short leg side boundary, and it'd be interesting to see what Hartley does here. Does he just go exclusively full, fast and wide, or does he mix it up a bit? Yeah, again, another full, almost a wide Yorker for a seamer there. Clever bowling.
Leading run scorer for the Bears as ever this season, Sam Hain.
Of course he
Silly
is.
question that, isn't it? You don't even
Yeah.
need to ask that question, do we? Was it 309 prior to today?
Yes, it was. I'll tell you what, Ed Barnard, though, not that far off. As of this knock, he's on 269.
Okay.
Oh, it's good effort from Barn. So I'm on to what Hartley's doing there with those wide, fast Yorkers, trying to go over short third man.
It's a bye for it. 1 to the total, 114 for 3.
He's a blooming good cricketer, Ed Barnard. Since he's he was always a good cricketer even when he was at Worcester, but you know he's been brilliant for us since he came up the road from Worcester. And he goes for the long short side.
Yes, he's got it all.
Just got it.
He
Just got
did.
it over. Not his cleanest strike. He was a bit worried. He's still down his haunches. Not the best strike of his life, but he goes for 6 all the same.
serious heart in mouth situation, that one, isn't it? You're sort of willing it from the centre. You're sort of clenching everything.
And I'll be honest, if you end up getting clothing one to a 45-yard boundary and getting caught, having given it your all, the lads aren't going to let you forget that.
Yeah.
Even in your own change rooms, they'll be giving you a bit of stick for that one. Luckily it went over. But yeah, but we've seen Barnes' quality in the last 4 or 5 years for the Bears. In particular in the 50 over comp, he's dominated that all over the country in the last few years, and it's nice to see him getting a run in the T20 side as well. And for my money, I just think he's a brilliant cricketer. He bats, bowls, fields. There's some wild card 100 gigs coming up for me. Someone like Ed Barnard in your squad who can do it all. It'd be a very wise pick.
Aaron's shaking his head. He wants him for the 50 over. Don't be making such suggestions. 121 for 3 after 12 overs. But you're right. The last few seasons, the 50 over competition, opens the bowling, opens the batting.
Oh, he's been
writes the theme tune,
sings the theme tune, writes the theme tune. No, he's been absolutely brilliant. And of course, I would want him to play for Warwickshire, and if we can win that 50 over comp, it'd be amazing. But yeah, there's another comp going on at the same time that we all know about, and I think a player of Barney's quality with the boxes he can tick and what he can do, I think he'd be a great asset to any squad. Changeable in this end, Luke Wells, who I thought it was an interesting to bowl him from the other end, because he's a bouncy. He's got a bit, we've mentioned, a bit of an awkward action. He bowls bouncy leg spinners, a bit more of a back of a length bowler. So to bowl him from the other end with a short leg side boundary when he's a bit more back of a length, I thought was quite tough on him. I think he'll bowl a bit better from this end, where he can bowl back of a length and get hit to the big leg side boundary. I think it'll suit him a bit more. Start with a big googly there to Hain.
It's a really good platform they're building here, isn't it?
Yes, it's good. It looks a good surface, doesn't it? Again, from Gary, it's a belting pitch.
Well, I don't think Barney's bothered about where the short boundary is in any way, shape or form.
It's a great hit. I mean, that's disheartening as a bowler. You bowl to thinking, it's a big leg side boundary, I'll bowl to it, I won't get hit for 6 out there. Oh no, he's absolutely whacked it. So it's a great shot.
That's possibly the longest boundary out there today, and that's gone, 15, 20 yards beyond it?
He landed on the AstroTurf, didn't it? Which is a big hit. There's an AstroTurf ring that runs around it. You can't see it all the way around, but it runs around the edge here at EdgBLASTon, and that's the ring that we end up running around all winter.
Oof.
So I blooming hate that thing, if I'm honest. But yeah, we spend our entire winter. As Barney goes for a big shot down the ground, it doesn't carry to Luke Wood. It's a good bit of work,
He's done well to stop that.
That was a bit of a half. He went for the catch, got to it on the half volley. It was a good bit of work.
That's one of those when you start thinking, I might have to visit the orthodontist after this. You get sort of caught in two minds, and it's the bowler will always look at you and think, why didn't you go for the catch? But sometimes you see fielders hang back, and at first you think, they've actually wussed out of this one. But it's better than having to take it on the half volley.
No, that was a good bit. He did go for that. That was a good effort.
Full toss this time,
Fast arm volley thing. Yeah, the AstroTurf track is what we run lap after lap after lap of all winter. So
up and down the steps as well. Do you have to do that?
No, I don't
do up and down the steps of the Hollies.
Up and down the steps. We used to do it as a bit of a punishment. If someone was late in the week, we'd have to go up and down up and down. We'd do laps because someone had been late. And
I can probably guess who some of those. Adair, was he late often?
No, I think he was all right.
Ooh. It's going to be safe. He had a very posy finish at the end of it. And he's going to get a couple for it. Oh, direct hit. They may get some more here. They're going to get an extra.
Not one. So a nice bit of bowling that. That was a very, very slow googly that Barney ran at and had to wait a long time for. Hence just a chip down. And a good bit of fielding that hits the stumps, but unfortunately the Bears sneak an extra run for the fielder. Not really rewarded there for doing a nice bit of work.
11 off the over. I think we're looking at 200 plus here. This carries on, aren't we?
Oh, it's rapid.
Oof. He's been watching Dan Mosley.
What was that? That was rapid.
Was that a bouncing leg spinner?
I'm not too sure Mr. Butler would be saying thank you for that. That looked hard to stop.
Talking about going to the orthodontist, I think that's where Josh Butler might end up with balls like that.
That was quicker than my bouncer.
136 for 3. Let's have a look at this again.
Ooh, shush. It was well directed, wasn't it? Right on the money.
That was a big over.
I think you're right though, 200 looks par to me. And the Bears will have in the back of their minds there's a lot of firepower in this Lancs batting lineup, so
Well, I'm
bigger
right
score,
thinking
the better.
Lancs have scored 2-4-3 this year, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. Yeah, yeah. Lancashire.
Where was that? In a small park?
Well, every park looks like a small one to Lancs, doesn't it? With Butler, Salts, Jennings. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? So, yeah, runs on the board here for the Bears. Absolutely crucial.
Oh, and Sam Hain's gone. Well, it's this point in the innings when Sam just starts to put the foot down, and he's gone for 36. Easily picked out off the bowling of Tom Hartley, and the Bears lose a 4th wicket. Partnership of 74 off 46 comes to an end, 136 for 4.
It was a relatively soft dismissal in the end, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think Hartley just took a bit of pace off. Again, bowling that wider line, trying to protect himself from the short side. Hey, trying to go over extra cover, but could only nail it at the fielder, really. So maybe a smart bit of bowling. But yeah, Hain might be a bit disappointed there. That's like, as Adam said, just when he starts to normally motor. And he'd been thinking about, pushing on. Try to get the team up to 200. Brings in Rob Yates. Not used to batting this far down the order. Normally opens the batting in most formats. But nice to see him get an opportunity since Moeen Ali's jetted off to the Caribbean to play in the Caribbean Premier League, I think. So nice to see Yatesy get a go. And now it's nice that there's a right and left-hander in, so hopefully from whatever in there is, we could try utilise this short boundary.
Hartley's done actually well in a total of 136 so far. 1 for 14 from 13 deliveries is
great economy,
a good return, isn't it?
Great economy. It's his job here, what I would imagine, to get Barnard on strike. Try and utilise this.
What's Barney's top score this season so far?
67, I was there for that at Headingley.
Shot.
Lovely shot that. Oh,
Well fielded out there.
Cut off in the end. Michael Jones doing the fielding, but they got back for 2. Well run.
Yeah. Hain is an excellent tennis player. I think I mentioned before he was at Birmingham Uni and was on the first team for tennis, which is quite a good standard. I think you're seeing a little bit of tennis skills there in that reverse sweep. But yeah, he's a very good. Any racket sport, we go play paddle.
I was going to say
you've got to be
he's a
paddle
pain in the
boys,
back. So I'm running around like a numpty, and he's barely moving and just making him look daft. So yeah, very good again.
Lovely shot.
Nothing more than a backhand that down the line, is it?
No, that's glorious. That just that little touch.
Are we you two? You're a paddler, aren't you?
I do dabble in a bit of paddle.
Yeah,
dabble in paddle.
Dabble in
say
paddle.
That after you've had a drink or two. You're a paddle dabbler.
I think in the dressing room, is there a few paddlers?
There's a few paddlers. I'll be honest, I'm not the greatest at racket sports, so I've played a few times. Last time I played was on pre-season tour with Hain, and we ended up having a bit of a fallout because he wasn't happy with how rubbish I was.
Oh, you his partner?
So I've not played since. Bit of change of tactic here, Hartley now, around the wicket. Try to cramp Yatesy up. Seen enough of his reverse sweep, reverse paddle sweep.
Are you not good at tennis though, with your height and the... No?
No, I'm rubbish.
I remember badminton.
Badminton at school. I liked a bit of badminton.
Okay.
It's nicking the strike, getting a single. Last ball of the over.
Yes, another good over from Hartley. A wicket and 7 from it. 1 for 3 for 4.
Yeah, they've just slowed things down a little bit, haven't they? That wicket obviously falling, breaking the partnership. It looked like they were really going some. That 200 was on the cards. I mean, I think they would still be eyeing up 200. They got 6 overs in hand, 6 wickets as well. But if they can get rid of...
I just wonder if 200 is par. I wonder if we actually might be eyeing up, if we could, in an ideal world, something closer to 220, 215 might be an ideal.
Yeah, especially when Lancashire have got a cheat code up the top of their innings.
Cheat code.
Well, and obviously a similar issue here against the Outlaws when we scored 220 odd.
It was 206.
Oh, was it 206 against
yeah.
the Outlaws? Yeah. Got chased down, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Yep, Dan Sams at the end. Breaking all of our hearts here at EdgBLASTon.
Talking of heartbreakers, it's Chris Green again.
Cheeky single there, first ball for Yatesy. Cheat code, that's not a term I've heard in a while. Will you be of the generation when I was a youngster who used to go to school and get a pen and paper and write down all the, for Grand Theft Auto say, the cheats that might make your car fly? It was left, right, up, down, X, Y, and get them all off your mates.
There was the one on Sims as well. Okay. Motherload, and that used to just get you loads of money, and then you could build a cool house.
You'd end up with this ridiculous sheet, but it's just gobbledygook, but got you unlimited health.
Oh, that's a shot from Barnard. Just stepped across his stumps.
Not all the way.
And it is all the way for 6.
Not a bad way to bring up your 50, is it?
No, very good. And a 4th 6 at that as well. Just 30 balls today. Aaron's shaking his head in disbelief.
It's well timed, that, isn't it? I mean, it's not far for Yorker. And he's timed it beautifully over deep backward square. For 6. Of a fine leg, even.
150's up.
Barney shouts 2 straight away. Ends up saying no. It's a good bit of fielding out in the deep by Hartley, I think.
It was right to his left hand, wasn't it?
It was right to his left hand.
Yeah.
Wow, that's complicated.
He's running laps now.
Yeah. Brings Yates in. Interesting to see if he has a dip here at the short boundary.
It's got to be tempting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be, but same as a canny operator, he's Greeny. He'd be well aware of what Yates is up to. Oh, bit of spin. Bit of spin there. Oof, collision.
One more to the total.
Nice ball that from Greeny. Bit of spin. Away from the lefty. I don't know what the umpire Wids has got attached to it. Normally umpires have got GoPros attached to their chests to film every ball, basically. And it's a great bit of technology. It tracks speeds and what people turn it, but it looks like just literally looks like a mobile phone, doesn't it? It's got an iPhone strapped to his chest just in case. Yeah, there it is. Just ticking over nicely, the Bears.
Because it used to be the days of umpire cam on the hats, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that was the first
That
innovation, wasn't it?
When I worked as a runner back in the day, I used to have to do all the attaching of the umpire cams to the hats.
Yeah.
It is a mobile, isn't it?
It's a mobile phone.
When it's got 3 little lights and all that, then it's got the mobile camera, unless there's another. Oh, that's a good ball. Yeah.
Well balled.
Is that the end of the over? It is.
The over.
It is. 153 for 4 then, after 15 overs. Hartley will probably come on again from the far end. 1 for 21 so far for him. George is going to leave us. She'll be back for the mid-innings session, of course. And Mel will return. So with 5 overs remaining here, you're right. They've got to be trying to get near a 220, haven't they?
Well, I wonder, 6 wickets in hand is a lovely number to have, and now 5 overs left. I wonder if the Bears might start putting the foots down now and say, right, let's try get up to 250.
Start putting their foot down.
You know what I mean, though, like all guns blazing, right?
So they only had half the guns blazing.
No holes barred now, just all out attack. I wonder.
Well, every time George comes in, he's got the license. George Garton to basically just swing the bat.
I'm wondering.
Yeah.
No.
And then Hassan has his moments. He has his moments.
That's lovely to give it a whack. Yes, he giving himself room. Going over the offside, just chipping it over cover. Only getting a single. Nice figures from Hartley, aren't there?
Yeah, it's
so
good.
far.
In a 155 or 15, that's pretty good.
He bowled a lot of overs to the difficult boundaries. He's bowled lovely here. Changing his pace and hiding it on the wide line.
And when you get the wicket of someone like Sam Hain, that's kind of the added value, isn't it?
Oh, I think it's going to be out. Yeah.
Comfortably taken.
See what Barney was trying to do there. He's walking across, trying to access that leg side. Hartley wise to him, went even wider, a bit slower maybe as well, and Barney could already cloth it out to deep mid-wicket.
Yeah, Ashton Turner with the catch. Barney's on his way, 54 from 34 balls, and it's 155 for 5.
And that's exactly what you were talking about when early in the innings we were talking about that short boundary, the fact that you can sometimes get batters out when they're trying to access that short boundary.
Yeah, you can sort of work both ways and get in your head. You can end up doing sucked in that direction too much. I mean, it's easy to say now, but yeah, you could say just tap that into the offside, but you can see what Barney tried to do. He tried to get on with it. Now's the time to go, I'd say. Brings 2 lefties to the crease now, so George Garton is in. Might be a bit simpler to bowl to for Hartley here, because he's got this big leg side, but as we've said, Gartz likes to get on with it. Regardless of length of boundary, he might Might have a dip in either direction.
And he tends to do it first ball as well, doesn't he? Yeah. Oh, that's very circumspect from him.
Having a look.
I got 2 fielders out there on the leg side boundary. One down at long on. So I've got protection on that long one.
There we go.
I say go behind.
Another good bit of fielding there by Wellesley. A top edge sweep, getting 2 guards off the mark. See Hartley's plan now, he's just trying to pull it as straight as he possibly can. Almost don't really matter of the length. Anywhere between Gartz's hip and his heels to this big leg side boundary is exactly what he wants to bowl.
It's clipped away nicely for 4. Good start from Garton. Another good over from the Bears. Hartley finishes with 2 for 29 from 4, and it's 161 for 5 after 16 overs.
Yeah, he's bowled brilliant there, Hartley. Might be disappointed with that last ball. See what he's trying to do, try to bowl as straight as he can, and perhaps just got a smidge too straight. Carter's helping it around the corner for 4, but still 2 for 29 off 4 overs, bowling some difficult overs there. And getting Hain and Barney out, you know, he's 2 big players for us there, so he's bowled really well there. Well done, young man.
Last over from Chris Green, then I suspect we'll get 2 from Jimmy and 1 from Luke Wood to finish up, probably. We'll see.
You're taking all the pace out of that. You know, Yatesy try to walk across to whack it over the leg side, and I'd be amazed to see what that register that was in the speed going. Maybe 40 miles an hour. Took all the pace out of it, so Yatesy had nothing to work with. Very clever bowling.
I think these 2 lefties have got one thing on their mind for the next 5 balls, haven't they? Well, that's a good shot. He's got a touch on that to stop it, hasn't he? But I think he's going to get to the ropes. 4 more.
Shows you just how hard that ball was hit.
Yeah.
Got a good hand on it.
Good effort, that, yeah, and he still pierced the field.
Yeah.
Nice crisp strike.
Yeah, threw everything at it.
He's got a great routine at Green. If you see there, just he gives himself a big huff before every ball. Literally the same, every single ball. Oh, clever from the Yatesy. Got him a lot of runs, that little reverse paddle tonight already. I think he's got 12 runs. Clever batting. Yeah, it's a good lesson to any young cricketer, Greenie. He's got his routine. I heard you speaking about Hartley earlier on in his routine, but the same every single ball. He'll pick a ball that he wants to bowl. Has a big deep breath, big puff of his chest, and drops his shoulders, relaxes, and then tries to execute. It's a good thing to do.
What's your thing?
Oh, it's the hand. The hand out the side. I know that.
Changing gears as I'm running in. The Fizz Moster reminds me of every time he sees me.
Oh, I was about to say, some people are obsessed with actions. I'm actually obsessed with quirks in a run-up. Yeah. So yours is one of my favourite.
I don't know I'm doing it. I think I'm running like Brett Lee and it's all athletic, and then I watch myself like, who is that numpty? Jesus, it's awful. Yeah, I hate watching myself bowl. I wish it looked like Jimmy Anderson. You know, poetry in motion, and unfortunately it just does not.
A quirk is good. Oh,
Great shot from Darts, that. Yeah.
It's a clean strike, that.
He does hit a very clean ball, Garton, doesn't he?
He's one of these annoying people who are pretty good at any sport he turns his hand to. He's good at golf, he's good at cricket, bat ball field, he's good, and that didn't beat extra cover by much, but he barely had time to move, and it was whistling away to the boundary. Good striking.
Well, they got 2 fielders almost holding hands there now. in that.
Yeah, they got cover and extra, aren't they, in the ring. Deep backward point, presume for the reverse sweep. Oh, that's a lovely delivery. Took all the pace out of it, bit of spin, and I'm not sure how that's missed off stump.
End of the over. 13 from it, 174 for 5. Remind me, average score for the men in the Blast this year?
Is 178.
Okay, so we're way above average today.
Already. Yeah, I mean, this has been a fantastic effort, hasn't it? 3 big overs here. Let's wait and see what the Bears can get up to.
And it's not Warder Anderson, it's Blatherwick.
Okay.
I think, which is a bit interesting. Although I think with this big leg side, as I keep mentioning, probably quite a simple plan here to put all your leg side fielders out, I think we're seeing, and bowl into the wicket straight.
Yeah.
So anywhere between Yates's hip and his head, as long as it's straight, it'd be a pretty good plan. Pace on and pace off is something you can bowl here at his body, basically.
Well, we got 4 on the boundary on the leg side here.
That's full. But yeah, all the leg side is out and just one lonely fella out on the offside at deep cover.
Oh, he's gone. He's run out. It's a brilliant throw. And it's goodbye. Well, the throw was excellent. And Rob Yates is on his way.
I think that was Chris Green out there. Yes, he looks a bit disappointed with that. He seems to think he was in. The umpire says it's out.
There's no hesitation from your mate Widdup.
Yeah, he was out straight. It was a brilliant throw, wasn't it? Right in the block hole for Butler to mop up and take the bails off.
And it was Chris Green. Excellent bit of fielding.
They almost seemed to come out of nowhere. They ran it quickly, but there was not really a sense of it being as tight as it was, and that's because of the accuracy of the throw.
Yeah,
19 for Yates.
Good bit of work. Yeah, nice little innings there. Clearly disappointed. Probably just thinking about getting going, and probably done the hard work getting in and thinking he can utilise these last few overs. So he's clearly disappointed there, but still a nice little innings.
I think batters often look the most disappointed when they get out on a really good batting track. It's like, I missed out here.
Left some runs out there. But it brings Haas to the crease, who despite being a low order batter, can hit a long ball. He can hit a good cricket ball. And again, nice for the Bears. It's now right and left hand. Try utilise this shorter boundary. So different question for Blatherick to answer. Starts with a good length ball and just taps it for a single.
Tends to be feast or famine with Hassan with the bat, doesn't it?
But it's entertaining.
Oh, it is.
Regardless, and
Well, it's 19 wickets with the ball as well this season so far, isn't it? Considering he arrived late, he's absolutely flying.
Yeah. It's all the best celebrations in world cricket. Haas loves a wicket.
He does.
Gives it the big, I don't know what you call it, explosion he does every time. He's great. It's great to watch. But I've not mentioned Haas played for Lancs.
Yeah.
The crossovers here between teams.
Oof.
Oh, shot.
Carter's got that away brilliantly.
Wowzers.
Gee.
Has that gone all the way? It has gone all the way for 6.
Now that's pretty well bowled for me. You bowl into your plan. You're saying I want to bowl straight and short, so I've got the big leg side. He's got a good bouncer, but Garth, what a shot that is to just help it on its way for 6 runs. And as well, I'm not sure if they've called it, but I think that's likely to be his one bouncer for the over. So Blatherick now has to keep these.
It's a good shot.
Full of a bounce and length. That's a great shot.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That is fantastic.
Well timed.
Yeah, so well timed, which is not normally something you'd say about that shot. You often see it, okay, you just make contact and let the ball do the rest, but he actually had to do quite a bit of work into that shot.
Brilliant. Good answer, though, from Blatherwick. He does have a K on the end of his name. You can see on the graphic there, we've cut off the K. I think it's just a bit too long for that space, but there is a K on the end there. It's not just Blatherwick.
Imagine if you were playing, we'd be in real trouble.
Just put OHD, it's fine.
Blatherwick sounds great. Sounds like he should have a shop in Diagon Alley.
Yeah. Oh, nice lusty blow there.
Oh, what a catch!
Oh my gosh.
That's a brilliant catch. And it's Chris Green again.
Wowzers.
What a diving grab that is.
What a 2 bits of fielding in this over from him.
Sometimes you hear people say that a player is worth 20 runs in the field. Based on that, I don't know what number you'd put on it, but that is a second outstanding piece of work by Chris Green. Gosh.
That's brilliant. I mean, I said earlier, he's a good pro. I said he's diligent in what he does in his prep. And he's probably not had the night he wanted with the ball. He's got none for 40. But he's just perhaps turned the game there with 2 bits of fielding in 1 over. 1 brilliant run out and then a spectacular catch. This is an amazing catch. He was probably going to go for 4 as well. So not only stop the runs, but take the wicket. Look at this.
Oh, Superman stuff.
Well done, that man.
I said I ran into him in a cafe earlier.
He was caffeinated up.
He was caffeinated up. That was what did the trick. That's outstanding because he was at full pace as well. It was running top speed and straight into the dive from that.
Look at this. It'll be a good angle on it. And it was going to go 4, wasn't it? If he didn't have it. Well done.
Great catch.
Well done, that man.
Canny Danny's in.
Canny Danny. Now, I've said this a million times before, I think, but he's a world record holder with the bat in T20 cricket, Danny. I'm sure I've had to ask you this question before. Do you know why?
Go on. Oh, Aaron's even Aaron's shaking his head.
Come on, Aaron.
You've stumped the Badger.
World record holder for the highest score for a number 11 batter. On his debut for Adelaide Strikers, I think he was in very early because it hadn't gone well, and he got 45 runs or something batting at 11. I think it's still a world record last time I checked.
Wow. 18 overs gone, 183 for 7.
Wow, look at Edgbaston. Glorious here. I think we've got another heat wave coming, haven't we? I think it's hottened up today.
Or as we call it in Australia, summer.
See, we're not built for it, are we? I don't know about you, Matt.
Well, you are several feet closer to the sun than the rest of us, my friend.
30 degrees in places like Australia doesn't feel as hot as 30 degrees here. Is that just because the buildings aren't built for it, or we're not built for it, or it does just feel different to me?
Oh.
Bit of a low full toss there.
There is a famous story once about a former footballer who played for West Brom and Middlesbrough, and they were on pre-season and they were out in Spain, and he genuinely said to one of the other players when they said about the heat, he went, "Wow, it's a different sun here, isn't it?" And they went, "What do you mean?" He went, "Well, it's a different sun to what we get at home, isn't it?" What wow. Do you mean? Well, it's a different one. No, we all share the same one, Jonathan.
I do agree with you. It does feel hotter, particularly in London, when it's hot in London.
On the tube. Jeez, nothing worse.
But I think it's the fact. Maybe it's the fact that cities here are more built up. That's what I put it down to.
There's not lots of aircon, is there? No one's house has got aircon, really.
I laughed at one of our neighbours recently who had an extension done and had aircon put in. I was like, "What do you want that?"
Who's laughing now?
Well, no, I'm not. I'm just knocking on their window, going, "Please let me in." Although I did see something crazy the other day that said you need to put your fan facing out the window rather than in.
Suck the cold air in or something. Oh, well bowled. Slow ball bouncer there from Woody.
Luckily, we're in the air conditioning here, so we're all good.
Foxing Canny Danny a bit there.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're limping towards 200 with those wickets now, aren't we?
Yeah, and as we said, it looks a good pitch. I do wonder if 200 might be par.
I guess the only thing you'd say though is that sometimes it is handier to have the runs on the board.
Good point. Yeah, very good point. And we have seen the odd ball spin there from Chris Green, and we know we've got some good spinners in the side. So, what a strike!
That's a shot. That.
Oh, wow!
For a moment, I thought Green was about to fly through the air again, then, but not even he could get to that one.
Pace on this time from Wood, and Canny Danny with the ball, and also Canny with the bat. Brilliant strike out there for 4 runs.
I was going to say, so we're looking potentially at today and Sunday being his final 2 appearances here in the Blast.
No. Well, maybe. Well, no, because finals day, which we're going to get to clearly. There's 2, semi-final and final as well. So
we're going to miss Canny Danny then.
What a man! What a cricketer he's been for us for the last few years. It's brilliant.
Club that as well.
Wow, that is a shot. He's going for the record again.
Yeah.
Trying to break his own record.
I think I was pace off again from Wood. And Danny waited brilliantly for it. Mid-off is up in the circle. Danny beat him for 4.
Yeah, seeing him roll the fingers over. But he's just timed that beautifully. And he's gone slower ball, faster ball, slower ball.
Yeah,
and he's still hit them just as well.
Be interesting to see what he finishes off with.
Yeah, last of the over.
Oh,
Danny trying to ramp there. 193 for 7 after 19 overs. Then 2 for 46 for Luke Wood from his 4 overs. About 16,000 of you joining us on the stream right now. Thanks for your company. If you feel like it, please click on the thumb and give us a like. Give us a thumbs up, please. Don't do it twice though. Just the once.
No double tap.
Yeah, that would be fine. And also subscribe and you'll never miss any of Bears TV, of course. And if you want to leave a comment, you can, and we'll try and work our way through some of those later. You can do that via our social media channels as well. But give us a like on the stream. It would be much appreciated this evening. Last over to come, 193 for 7. So So 200s within sight, and no Jimmy Anderson again.
Blatherwick again. Lost over 3 wickets left. I think Haas might have a dip here. Walking across. Oh, and 3 wide. 3 wide.
Oh, that is so.
Oh, it's harsh, isn't it?
It is harsh.
Whoever's on this.
Oh, on the PA. Wow.
That was a triple as well.
Yeah.
That's really evil.
He's got quite funny. He's got his leg side out here, bar fine leg, but he's also got a deep cover and a deep point, which says to me he can bowl a wide Yorker and straight as well. So he's sort of got a field that he can bowl 2 balls to, which is quite a smart thing to do this time of the innings. He does bowl wide there. That's missing it though.
That one stayed quite low though.
Hassan looked like he was trying to knock the cover off the ball.
Yeah.
I don't mind Haas walking across here. I like it when he walks across there. It makes your margin as a bowler that little bit smaller when the batter walks across. You get tempted sometimes by trying to go for the stumps. It can often end in disaster because the batters flick it over square leg for 6.
194 for 7.
Goes. Oh, not his cleanest strike. And a good
Another
catch.
good
Good
catch
catch by
again.
Luke Wood out there at long on. Yeah, Haas walking across there, trying to access that leg side, and yeah, not the cleanest strike of his career. He does hit a very good ball, Haas, but not quite got that one. Only able to get it out to long on, and a pretty simple catch there by Luke Wood.
On his way for 2 then. Here's Haas. Well, see what he can do with the ball later.
Brings Milo to the crease.
Striding with real purpose there, Milo.
Again, Milo can hit a very clean ball. He's very fast, very, very fast between the wickets, but he can hit a good ball, can Milo.
Just realised how long Hassan Ali has grown his hair.
Oh, it's luscious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it luxurious? I think he's been growing it for a year. He said to me his last haircut was when he was here this time last year, so it's a year in the making. And it's lovely locks. Very jealous.
Yeah.
I'm afraid those days are gone for me, Mel.
Are they?
Yeah.
Where are we?
Ooh. He's gone for 6.
6 first ball.
Wow.
Can I say, if I'd be a bit cross there if I was Blatherwick's captain. He's gambled a bit there, trying to go for the bouncer to the lower order player. Then a bouncer to that short edge is a bit of a gamble for me, and Milo very well up to it. 6 and 200 up for the Bears.
What a way to come to the crease when you've only got a few balls left.
Well, this one's gone up.
This is high. It's
There's
in the middle of 3 fielders.
There's no snow on this one today due to the weather, but Butler takes the catch.
That's a good catch by Butler. He's made good ground. That was at least 35 yards he's run there. And I was a bit worried again we might see a collision. There were 3 fielders converging, but Butler calls his name and takes the catch.
Well,
Probably a
short
300 strike rate there for Milo. Did your job.
He'll be talking about that later, I'm sure.
Hit a 6. Get out. Off you go.
How many times?
Gleesers go.
How many times is that they've gone over 200 this season? Aaron, just
Here at EdgBLASTon, twice.
twice, yeah.
Yeah, came very close against Derbyshire, but either way, this would be a record run chase in a game between Lancashire and the Bears. So it's a very good total, this.
That was up for a long time, wasn't it?
And as Mel said, 200 runs on the board is always, always what you want. However, we'll see whether the 200 is this going to be par, is this going to be above par, is it going to be just below par? Not too sure yet, so we'll see. Brings Glees to the crease. Glees to the crease. That's got a nice ring to it, hasn't it? Glees to the crease.
Well, with your canny Danny.
Canny Danny, Glees to the crease. Try to think of a few more.
I'm gonna guess as well. This conversation is how do I give you the strike, Danny?
But I'd guess so.
Yeah.
But against his old club.
Yeah, just
So
2
at
balls
least he'll have a few of these sights with the ball, but yeah, his job here is to get Danny on strike if he can.
No, it was down the
Which
leg.
he can.
Doesn't matter how you do it.
Yeah, just sliding down leg. By the way, nice figures here.
I was going to say, he somehow ended up with 3 for 27 here.
27. A bit only off 3 overs, but yeah, 3 for. And this is what you call free hack. You can do what you want here, Danny, and no one will judge you. Be interesting to see what Blatherwick does, whether he tries to get that wide Yorker in.
He bowled it well in the previous over too.
Yeah.
Last ball then of the innings. Oh, Briggs has gone for it. Straight up in the air.
Lancashire, have they got to run 2? Have they got to the far end? Would Briggsy make it? Yeah, he does make it. He does make it. They get 2.
Well, Danny Briggs finishes 12 not out of 7 balls, and the Bears at the end of that 20 overs are 203 for 9. So when we return, Lancashire are going to be chasing down 204 for victory. We'll round up that first innings with Mel and with OHD and with Georgie when we come back.
Every great team has its unsung heroes. The all-rounders, the heavy lifters, putting their organisation on the map. We're talking about you, the humble IT engineer, supporting EdgBLASTon across the season. They're the ones delivering, day after day.
Welcome back to EdgBLASTon. An absolutely glorious evening here now, and actually a glorious innings in the end from the Birmingham Bears, who were put into bat by Lancashire and made 203 for 9 from their 20 overs. They lost early wickets, but fight back in the middle, and actually I think we've got a game on here.
Yeah, I mean 200 runs in any game of T20 cricket is a good score. Yeah, we lost a few early wickets, but both Barney and Hain through the middle overs were brilliant, weren't they? And Barney in particular came in and played some great shots, almost from ball one, didn't they? But I'm slightly nervous that we have lost 9 wickets there, the Bears, and probably various stages lost a little bit of momentum. So with this power that the Lancashire team have, I'm a little bit nervous, thinking, is this par or is it a bit below par, if I'm totally honest?
Mel, what do you think? Is it enough?
It's hard to say. Look, it's one of those ones where you wonder if you're better to have the runs on the board, and I think it'll just come down to if the Bears are able to jag some wickets, because as soon as you start to lose runs in a big chase like that, it does tend to make it much more difficult. Just when you saw Warwick, well, I'm about to say Warwickshire again, Bears. When you saw them at 136 for 3 early on the 14th over, you thought, geez, what could they be on for here? But yeah, those wickets. So I think that's going to be key for Warwickshire probably in this chase, is actually taking wickets.
Yeah, we're just going through a few of the wickets here. Dave was a bit disappointed to miss out on his favourite cut. A nice bit of bowling here by Sir Jimmy to nick off Tom Latham, albeit to the unusual short third man that he was caught at. Bit unusual. Jimmy didn't bowl his 4 overs, did he? So slightly unusual. He'd only bowled 2 or 3.
Yeah,
bowled 2.
Took 1 for 25 from his 2 overs. Obviously, they're leading wicket taker at the moment in the blast for Lancashire. So interesting.
Opting to use a young bowler Blatherwick at the end, and if he did well, he got 3 for 25, I think, didn't he? Or was it 27?
Yeah, 3 for 29 from his 3. 2 for Luke Wood, 2 for 46. So expensive.
And I thought that Hartley was excellent tonight. Once he was brilliant. The way he hit it on the from the short side to the batters who were in the room. He was excellent. He got about both Hain and Barney out. The key players for the Bears this evening. So yeah, I thought it was absolutely excellent. Yeah,
2 for 29 for Hartley. Chris Green didn't manage to pick up a wicket, went for 41 from his 4 overs, and Luke Wells also without the wickets, 26 from his 3. So they went through 6 bowlers, Lancashire, and actually I think this could be a very exciting chase. We saw early wickets fall, obviously, for the Bears, and we thought, oh dear, what could be going on here? Managed to get themselves up to that 203, which seems respectable enough. But, as I said earlier, they've got the cheat code in there. They've got the firepower with the bat in this Lancashire side, and they do bat pretty deep as well. We know what the boys up the top can do once they get going. Actually, they don't even need to get going. This was an excellent grab. Superman. It's one of those things you get on Photoshop and you can put a little cape on the back of there.
If the Lancs social media team are listening, that needs to be done ASAP. And this was just after a brilliant run out. You know, two wickets. He said he didn't take any wickets in his spell, but almost 2 fielding wickets there for Chris Green in the space of a few balls. You know, if Barnard had been in the end there, I think the Bears might have had 20 more runs the way he was hitting it, and the being the batter was in. So, yeah, excellent work from Chris Green there out in the deep.
And I think something like that is so important as well. As you say, he didn't take any wickets with the ball, but he plays in every franchise that is going around the world. And having a fielder like that and someone who can bring that extra aspect to their game is what makes you so in demand around the world.
Well, I said that before. You always talk about that truism in cricket about a player being worth 20 runs in the field, and we actually don't measure it very well. Another great catch this time by Luke Wood, but I wish we could check. I wish we could actually do those measurements or those metrics, because fielding display like what we saw from Chris Green.
Yeah, so I mean, it's where the way the game's going, isn't it? You look at some of the young players like Jacob Bethel, people like this. They are literally 3-dimensional players. Bat, ball, field, you know, they're exceptional. So yeah, it's all the ways the game's going. The numpties who just do one thing half decently, like myself, are few and far between these days.
Yeah, but you do one thing well. So better than
the okay.
The EdgBLASTon wall.
Yeah, there you go. But no, yeah, it's going to be an interesting second half, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's going to be all about for the Bears taking early wickets. I think, you know, you just can't let the top 2 get firing early on. That 204 is that kind of, you're happy with it to have 203 on the board, but you also know what they can do. And if they can break the back of this chase early in the power play and really get themselves going, set that foundation, it could be a tough night. Yeah,
and we've all talked about the firepower, but don't forget players like Keaton Jennings. He's a bit of their Sam Hain. They'll probably bat around him. He's the highest run scorer so far this year. I'm not saying he by no means taps it around. He can still give it a whack and score very clever boundaries, particularly off spin with his sweeps and reverse sweeps. But he's likely to be the guy who tries to bat through the innings, and they'll all bat around him.
But we do have some bowlers in fine form. Hassan Ali, we cannot ignore. Not just his luscious locks, obviously, that came up in commentary when he was batting, but he's going to be really important in trying to take these wickets.
Yeah, he loves the biggest occasion. Hass, nights like this with a good crowd in and playing against some superstars is sort of what he lives for. So, yeah, expect fireworks from him and hopefully some big celebrations.
Oh, well, yeah, definitely. I'm hoping one involves his hair. You need to see the hair flowing freely. But yeah, they've certainly got that firepower in the bowling department as well, the Bears. And it's going to be down to players like that. Just think, you always think too, every time you take a wicket tends to perhaps slow the batting down just a little bit, even if it's just for a few balls, unless you're some of the players who came out and hit one for 6 straight up. But, you know, it is going to be that, I think. We might have a real good feel for how this chase is going very early on, because the run rate required is set so high. There's only kind of one way that Lancs can go. They don't have a lot of time to get themselves in and going.
But do remember, we're on a decade of dominance.
Good shout. I forgot that, yeah. So it's the odds are in our favour.
The odds are ever in our favour, yeah, exactly.
Very good.
But what do you think the kind of discussion will be like for the Bears down there as they're heading out to try and defend this total?
I think exactly what we've talked about, wickets. You know, early wickets, particularly in the power play, getting them 3-4 down is what's going to kill the run rate. And even if they do get off to a flyer, let's say, you know, they're 80 for none, wickets on the scorecard is what's going to slow them down. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Glees against his old side. You know, Glees is one of the best T20 bowlers in the world. He plies his trade a bit like Chris Green all over the place and always seems to do well. So watch him tonight against his old team. Canny Danny we've talked about, but also don't write off Mousley.
You're questioning yourself now, aren't you?
Don't write off Mouse because, you know, he's an off spinner. who bowls absolutely rapid and doesn't spin it too much, if I'm totally honest. But he's really hard to hit. He's a nightmare to hit because he comes off a short run, spears in Yorkers, spears in bouncers, spears in anything that's really fast. You're not going to see too many ragging past the outside edge like Graham Swan, but he's hard to hit, so keep your eye on him as well.
And we saw the impact that Chris Green had in the field, and that's the other key that I think that the Bears are going to have to field really well, make sure that any chances, they make the most of them, because when you've got a team with this much firepower, you don't want to be putting one of those players down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, we can just see down in front of us the two umpires, Rob Bailey and Simon Widdup, just heading out to the middle, and the two opening batters for Lancashire. Not far behind them at all, Keaton Jennings and Phil Salt. They've gone through two very differing ways of heading out. Keaton Jennings sprints on, and Phil Salt, sort of the side-to-side swagger, catches up with him eventually, and there they are, the Birmingham Bears side, ready to try and defend this total. They've put up 203, which, well, they've crossed that 200 mark. There's a sort of mental aspect of that as well, I think. You know, when you cross that 200, you think, right, we've got that on the board. And, yeah, in front of a home crowd here, an absolutely perfect evening here in Birmingham. What is it, the second city were we calling it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Birmingham is the second city.
Birmingham, the second city. And let's see what can be done here. It's going to be about those early wickets, as we said. And for these two, it's about getting runs on the board early. They haven't got too much time, really, to be able to play themselves in if they want to make that 204. And two seasoned pros. Captaining the side there, Keaton Jennings, and obviously Phil Salt on the other end, IPL champion.
Yeah. Along with Jacob Bethel, him and Beth and Virat Kohli were teammates in April, was it? The IPL, and
January, February, March, April.
Yeah, it goes a long time.
I think it's easier to pick a month when it's not on.
It does seem to go on, but
April and May.
IPL champions. IPL champions. He's a good man. He's salty. Yeah, he's a good fella, and he's made a niche for himself. At the top of the order, whacking it. He's one of the best in the world at it. And he comes up against a former teammate here, George Garton, taking the new ball. They both played for Sussex together. Gart starts well with a heavy stock ball around off stump. The good man is salty.
Also saw him having coffee, so I can confirm he is well caffeinated.
Caffeinated up as well.
Yep, for this fixture.
I think he had a slightly unusual. I think he spent a bit of time in Barbados and Florida growing up, so slightly unusual upbringing. But loves his cricket. Also loves all his American sports, baseball and American football. Just sliding down the leg side there for Garts. I say that because I was on a training camp with Salty in Dubai for a few months. We were based at Sports City, training cricket, the ICC Academy there. And there was a local American football side that Salty sort of went and watched one night and said, "Oh, do you mind if I have a go?" And anyway, he ended up playing for him and ended up being their best player. He was he came in on Monday morning. As Garts comes in again to him and cramps him for room, just a little leg by to get Lancs off the scoring off the mark. He came in on the Monday morning and said, "What do you think of this, lads?" And it's Salt, sensational quarterback, and he'd played for this local American football side and been their best player, and they were dying for him to get. I think he played 1 or 2 games, and they said, best not, because I don't want to get injured for the English summer. And they were dying for him to come back to play American football for him all winter.
There's just some people, aren't there?
Yeah, multi-talented man.
Turn their hand to anything.
The quarterback. There you go, Phil Salt, the quarterback. Picking Keaton Jennings to face his first ball. Be interested to see if Garts get a better swing and try and nick him off here, I'd imagine. He's trying to do.
Oh, he's got it! That'll do, won't it?
But it's not exactly how I said it, is it? I was saying he was trying to nick him off. It was a bit of a leg stump half volley, and Mr. Jennings just clips it out to Dan Mosley at deep mid wicket.
And their leading run scorer in the Blast this season is gone, much to Aaron's delight.
As I said, Jennings is the man they try bat around. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone tries to take on that role, or whether they just think, no, we're going to play our shots. Not the best ball Garts has ever bowled, but he'll take it. Mouse didn't have to move, did he? Took it very casually.
He's just tried to nudge it, hasn't he?
Very casual there, Mouse.
He could have just sat down and camped out, and it would have fallen straight in his coffee mug, actually.
Well, I mean, look, it brings Joss Butler to the wicket, so...
Yeah, not a bad player. Not a bad player to come in at 3 for you.
3-2-3 runs he's got this year, isn't it, Jennings? And he's staying on 3-2-3 tonight, isn't he?
Yes, he is, yep. But of course, as one danger man departs, another one enters the middle. Joss Buttler, a man with 12,893 T20 runs, so plenty of experience. He's played 453 matches in the formats. We all know the universe Joss, and of course he is a wicket which the Bears will be absolutely desperate to get nice and early.
And is this his third blast game? Or
Yes, it is, yeah. Scored 77 runs in the previous 2.
So coming in pretty decent form straight away. Which often I feel sorry for some of these big guys coming, obviously massive names, but they experience form just like the rest of us. So to come in straight away and think, come on, you're expecting you to dominate. You know, coming against good county cricketers, it's not written in the stars that they're just destined to whack it straight away. So, but we're starting in good form. A little bit of swing there for Garts.
It's not often you see many leaves
Yeah,
on a blast.
classical leave.
It was not this shot I was expecting him to play first up.
I've just noticed. I mean, your trainers. Please tell me they're out of a box today, and you haven't kept them that
Very
clean.
yeah.
These are my 0% chance of rain trainers.
Oh wow!
Mm.
Oh yeah. Right, yeah. I'm impressed.
Butler doing his classic shoulder wiggle there. Good use of the bouncer there from Garts, so it's not signalled wide, just signalled one for the over.
And he might get out of this over very cheaply and very well. Garts.
Hopefully, yeah. Be a very good start. Essentially, if we finish this last ball well, turns it into a 19 over game with only 9 wickets left. So hopefully can finish strongly. Lovely start from Garts.
Lovely shot. That's got to be. Got to be. He's gone. Butler's on his way without troubling the scorer. And look at those celebrations.
What a lovely bit of cricket that is. The old 1-2. Nice sharp bouncer. One after, bit fuller, bit of swing, and it looked out, didn't it?
No doubt.
It looked good. Lovely bit of bowling.
Surprised your finger wasn't up straight away, to be fair, OHD.
What an over. 2 for 2. Lancashire 2 for 2 after 1 over.
Yeah, well, we said early wickets were going to be key, didn't we? And I didn't quite expect 2 to fall in the first over.
Here we go. Let's have a look at this. Oh, it's a lovely bit of bowling. Lovely bit of bowling.
Just a little bit of shape, wasn't there?
And as I said, after the good bouncer, what a lovely follow-up delivery that is.
Butler knew as well, didn't
In
he?
the end.
Butler knew.
Garch knew as well. Loved it. He's enjoyed that.
What an over. 2 wickets, 1 run from George Garton to start with. And now Richard Gleeson will bowl against his former side from the Birmingham end. As that sunset starts to kick in, this is the time, isn't it?
Lovely timing out. Golden hour they call it, don't they?
They do. It's very
lighting.
special.
Yeah, lovely. Gleeson on the attack. He's got a slip in. Obviously fancies Salty. Charging in. Oh, it's a bit of a false start though. Salty not ready. I'm not too sure why. It's always annoying that as a fast bowler. You're charging all the way, and then sometimes a fly goes in your eye or down your throat, or someone pulls out. It's the biggest waste of energy. Let's go again. Gleeson comes. Let's be charging in. Oh, it's bang on the money. It's fast. That looks zippy to me. A tiny bit of shape.
He's got such a quick arm, hasn't he? It just sort of whips over.
And it's a great story, Gleeson. You know, he came into professional. Try to say that. Professional cricket late. You know, he kept banging away in the leagues and thought he had something to offer professional cricket. Trialled as a 25-year-old, 26-year-old to keep going and to do what he's done now. Like I say, he's one of the best T20 bowlers in the world, and to have played for your country and to what he's done in the game is a great lesson to anyone. To not give up if you've got a dream to follow or a point to prove. Again, that was fast. Looks like he ran that one in, bit less swing away, bit more of a wobbler inner, or a bit of an in swinger. Hitting Turner on the pad.
Yeah, Ashton Turner, the new batter. First ball he's faced from Gleeson. Perfect start.
Turner got a big score in the Champo game. Was it at Blackpool?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got a big. Was it double 100 or
154?
154, yeah. And that was at Blackpool.
Mm-hmm. Which, funnily enough, is Richard Gleeson's club.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I think Glees was there watching, but yeah, that's his whole club. Still plays league cricket for him when he can in between games for the Bears. So he loves it up there. Another good start for the Bears here. Nice tight start from Glees here. This rate will only be going up. Again, it's above 10 now. Bears will be telling them, be reminding them it's at 10s, and they'll be squeezing to try to get up to 11s. We try to entice them into playing a shot. Be lots of chat there.
Oof, that wouldn't have been far away.
With a hit, I think that might have been out. Who was it? Was it Sam Hain?
Yeah, left hand, I think, the throw.
He's left-handed, you know. Do you know the he is left-handed.
Another one.
He writes left-handed.
But bats and does everything else right-handed.
If he bowled the ball, he'd bowl it right-handed.
And funnily
enough,
enough,
he might even throw right-handed.
Well, you know, Mel was saying earlier she has a lot in common with Sam Hain. I don't think we'd included that as part of the list.
Oh, I thought it was out, wasn't it? With a hit, that's out. But yeah, he writes left-handed. But he threw underarm threw it left-handed there. But I reckon if he overarmed it, it'd be right-handed. That's some weird wiring, isn't it?
Mm.
Oh, just erring down the leg side there, Glees.
It's called Dave on the thumb as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
What I always find strange at this point in a game is when you already have Wasp.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. We're into the second over at least now, and there's been some action. But sometimes you've had one ball and it's been a 1 or a dot or something, and Wasp suddenly pops up and says, 3%. And you think, well, yeah, we've seen one ball.
I wonder where it comes from. Oh, that's a good shot. Oh, it's got Miles dropped in the crowd. But pace on delivery there from Glees. And Turner thinking he's had enough of tapping it around. Brilliant scoop shot. He's timed it well as well. He's got every bit of pace on that. He's gone miles back for 6. It's a good shot. Not much you can do about that as a bowler.
I was going to say, when someone's sending down rockets like that, you just need the faintest of touches, don't you? Help it on its way.
Yeah. Lancaster's first boundary, I think, in the second over. Oh, again, another heavy, fast length ball. And a bit of a word there from Glees. 2 for 2 at the end of the second.
Yep, 12 for 2 with 2 overs gone.
Every great team has its unsung heroes. The all-rounders, the heavy lifters, putting their organisation on the map. We're talking about you, the humble IT engineer, supporting EdgBLASTon across the season. They're the ones delivering, day after day.
It's not often Gart gets a second over at the start of the innings, but he is today, after that peach of an opener.
Yeah, well deserved, I'd say. If you got 2 wickets in your first over, go again.
So Phil Salt's only faced 1 ball so far today.
Oof, and that's well timed. Not sure it was an actual bouncer, more of a back of a length delivery from Gart's, but Salty was on that fast. It's gone all the way for 6. It's gone a long way. He's not slow as Gart's, and Salty's timed it as well. So yeah, it's flown for 6. Perhaps just an indication here that Lancs are thinking, okay, we need to start getting on with it now. Obviously a very good first over from the Bears. But if Lancs are going to chase down this total, they perhaps need to get up to the rate or start playing a few more shots.
Pressure on Garton now to respond. Straighter and shorter this time, and pulled for 4.
Well timed again. And not a terrible ball. Good sharp back of a length delivery, and Salter this time pulling in front of square for 4. And very well timed again.
He'd just been watching all of the action unfold really from the other end, hadn't he? And now he's finally getting a go at the action. He's just said, right, I'm going to put my foot on the accelerator here. We don't want to get behind on this run rate. 6 backs it up with a 4. You wonder if at this point he just pushes it for 1, rotates the strike, or he takes it on again.
Oh, I'm not sure he's I'm not sure he's tapping it for one. Oh, it's a good half stop, extra cover there by Ed Barnard and tidied up by Tommy Latham. Cart's deciding he's had enough of being pulled. He's going to go for the Yorker. Unfortunately, it keeps Salty on strike with that too. If we try to get him down the other end.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, look, he kind of had more of his success in the first over when he was slightly fuller and the ball was swinging a little. Do you think it's no longer swinging, hence why he went shorter?
Yeah, perhaps. It's obviously a plan. It's big edge out there. They've actually got a deep square leg and a deep mid-wicket, so maybe a bit more into the pitch here.
Slower ball that time, wasn't it?
Slow, yeah, and well weighted and just timed through the backward point area for 4.
This is turning into a very expensive over now. 16 already from it, and you say that Garts normally doesn't bowl a second over on the trot up the top. Well, obviously bowled an incredible first one, and this time coming back for the second, just not paying off for the Bears. But this is exactly what Lancashire needed, because losing early wickets, getting behind on that run rate, now up at 10.5.
Again, slow again. Oh, and it pierces the gap. Yeah, another slow ball there from Garts. Maybe a little bit too wide. He's got this field where he's got a deep square leg and a deep mid-wicket, which says you probably want to bowl very tight, straight line. With the slower ball, little bit of width, and Phil Salt managing to pierce the gap and getting 4 again. Dave will be behind the stumps there asking him if he wants to come around the wicket to try cramping for room, but Garts saying no, I'm going to stay over.
Last one of the over, 20 from it.
Oh my God.
That's amazing.
My God. What a catch.
Whoa, that's astonishing.
What a catch.
Rob Yates, one-handed on the floor, and no wonder everyone has made their way to him. That's unbelievable.
Well, he can't believe it. Of all the people out there, he just stuck out a right mitt, and it was like he had super glue in his hand, and it just stuck in. Even when he hit the floor on his elbow and that sort of pressure of hitting the floor, it stayed in. And this is what we were talking about earlier. We talked about that catch from Chris Green, but sorry, that goes in the bin now. It's been topped.
I mean, Phil Salt has absolutely nailed this. He has timed the pants off it. Again, a slow ball. Yatesy nowhere near it really, and what a catch that is. Jeez. And the celebration to match it. This will be a good angle. What a catch.
Oh, that is phenomenal. I thought he was just going down to probably try and parry it and stop it going to the ropes.
Oh, here we go. This might be a good angle on it. Milo saying yours, yes, he what a catch.
It's almost past him, isn't it?
What a catch that is. And we talked about Chris Green perhaps changing our innings with a brilliant bit of fielding. Phil Salt just got going there, didn't he? Geez, what did he hit off that over? 20 runs off that over, and he just started to get going, and a bit of brilliant fielding like that can hopefully just change the momentum for the Bears. What a catch.
Bit of a shout out to our cameramen there, because they did a terrific job in picking that one out. And Hassan Ali is into the attack, and he's immediately sniffing wickets.
Yeah, Bears on the attack with a slip. They've got the man who just took the specky, Yates in at slip. He's a brilliant slipper. He fields in that position in the championship, and he's absolutely brilliant. Probably one of the best in the country at slip. You don't often see him out patrolling the boundaries like he just was there, but yeah, geez, what a catch. Well up there with any of his best slip catches. Sun in again. Oh, a little bit of swing. Little bit of swing there, which is a bit unusual this late on. Just gets over Danny Briggs at short third man. Good effort there by Briggs. He leapt off the ground. The S&C coaches would be delighted with the height he got with his jump there. Could only get a fingertip on it maybe, and yeah, it goes for 4. Much needed boundary for Lancs.
Thinking about that catch though, where Yates has gone down, it's almost a kind of, as a slip fielder, he's down in that outstretched position, isn't it?
Slow ball there from Hass. He's been working on a bit of a no-wristy Chris Woakes slow ball. You see Woakes bowl it lots in all forms of cricket really, where you don't flick your wrist and you sort of undercut the ball. That's what we saw there from Hass.
Brings Wells on to strike. his record against the Bears, and his record in general is pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It does like facing off against the Bears. I still remember that 175 he got here in the Championship a couple of years back, and averages 33 strikes at 150 plus against the club. So this again is another key wicket. Feels like we say that with every single wicket that falls, but...
And didn't you tell me he's got a better strike rate than Livingston?
He has. I can't claim credit for that stat. We'll talk about that after this ball from Hassan Ali.
Quick.
On the money.
Which is a dot ball. Yeah, so it's Paul Edwards. Shout out to Paul Edwards, one of the finest journalists in the country. Does a lot for the Cricketer and other publications. He looked at Lancashire strike rates in T20. It's very close, in fairness. They're both in the mid-140s, but yeah, Luke Wells strikes it better or cleaner in the T20 Blast for Lancashire than Liam Livingston as of this moment in time.
It's not a bad number to have behind your name, really. Ooh, just
getting a bit of swing here, like I said, this is quite late on in the innings to be swinging it, just bringing it in there to Wellesley. But he's a good cricketer, Luke Wells. He grew up in Sussex, through the academy system there. He's moved to Lancs 6 years ago now, and it's been a brilliant move from him. He's played a hell of a lot of cricket in all formats for Lancs. Ended up being picked up in the 100. He's just a good cricketer. His bowling's underrated. We talked about him earlier. He's a bit unusual, but he takes wickets and goes for very few runs in all formats. Even in the Championship, he always seems to bowl pretty well. He just tickles this one out to point for a single to get off the strike. Yeah, good solid cricketer.
6 off the over from Hassan. 38 for 3 then at the end of over number 4. Wow. I'm still thinking about that catch. I don't know about you. It was that good.
I think also the fact that it was such a contrast to the rest of the over that had already gone for 20 at that point, and they would look like everything Phil Salt touched turned to gold and flew to the boundary. This one, I was sure, watched it fly, thought, right, 4 more, 24 from the over, that's very expensive. This is the over they needed. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, this right mitt just appeared, and somehow it stuck. It's astonishing.
Yeah, ridiculous. Like you say, hopefully that can sort of swing the game and swing a bit of momentum in the Bears' favour, but yeah, some exceptional hitting there from Phil Salt, and thought more of the same was coming if it wasn't for Bobby Yates' right mate. Got Richard Gleeson coming back into the attack. Luke Wells has got a short leg side boundary here, over to the left on your screen. Interested to see if he goes for it or not. Not is the answer to start with.
Are they thinking about a little rebuild here, or are they kind of just thinking, well, we've got 2 overs of the power play, we need to...
I think they've probably got to have a little bit of a rebuild, but that rebuild might only be 6 balls. It might only be, you know, Wellesley face 6 balls and then has to, because, you know, it's creeping up again to 11 and over.
A lot of bowling options for the Bears today.
Yeah, lots. We've got Milo, Dan Mousley, Danny Briggs, Ed Barnard. Obviously, Hass has bowled already. Yates.
You want another spinner? That's not
slightly aerial to Tommy Latham mid-off, but doesn't carry. Does the tidying up.
Yes, they've given themselves ways to bowl Lancashire out, haven't they?
Yeah. Lots of bowling options here. That's why it's quite unusual. You see anyone bowl out, really. Danny Briggs usually bowls his 4 overs. Probably so does Richard Gleeson, but invariably on any night it might be someone's hot or someone's not, so quite often the Bears, you know, not everyone bowls their 4 overs every week at all.
We've not had a spinner in this power play, so Mosley at the end maybe, or Danny Briggs even, we'll see.
Oh, that's a great shot. That's well bowled and well played. What a bit of cricket that is. Wellesley advancing, Glees seeing him, banging in a fast bat. That was fast. Wells adjusting and flicking it over the keeper for 4, probably nearly for 6. That's good cricket from everyone. Well adjusted by Glees and blooming well played by Wellesley here. Oh, wow. Well done everyone there.
Yeah, 1 bounce, almost to the ropes. Oh, and again, short and
bit less cultured this time.
Yeah.
Back of a length again from Gleeson. A bit of a hack there by Wellesley and just top end edging it over the keeper. Not as cultured as the shot before.
No, perhaps not. A little sketchy, that one, but, you know, as they say, if you're going to flash, and using the pace of Gleeson as well, if it finds any bit of bat, any kind of edge, that's going to fly, and it has done. Oof.
Gleeson, I'd have to have a speed gun on Gleeson today because he seems to be
this looks zippy to me.
tearing in, doesn't he?
Looks like you and your pump, Adam. Oh, it's well timed. Is he going to go all the way for 4? Is it a brilliant bit of work there by, I think, George Garton?
Yep.
Brilliant bit of work. The Bears obviously delighted here to have a team 3 down in the power play, and the players we've got are brilliant, but just seems to be the case if you can get in. You know, Wells now faced 8 balls. Once you're in on this pitch, it seems like run scoring is available to you. But as our timing it once they're in.
Yeah, last ball of this 5th over to come. 49 for 3. Scoring runs going at the rate required.
And the Bears were 3 down in their power play as well, weren't they? What were the Bears' power play? What did it end up?
We'll see it at the end of the 6th over, but yeah, 70 plus runs were scored.
Yeah,
That's all on.
It was a long way north of the average power play score.
Yeah, it was. Clay calling the shots. He's dropped both his deep square leg and his deep mid wicket. So all the offsides up. Indicating it might be something shorter and in at the body of Turner. Or is he going to bluff him and do something completely random and make me look daft?
Hasn't he already done his 1 for the over, so he can't be too short, can he?
Oh, it was slow and into the pitch. Well bowled. Very clever. Single to finish the over.
5 overs gone then, and 50 for 3. Turner on 13, and Wells on 12. Mel's coming in to replace Georgie. No, you're staying for the minute, OHD. Yeah, you don't get a break yet.
I see how it is.
Cup of tea,
I see how it is.
You get your cup of tea in a minute.
It's not the night for a cup of tea.
He said, no, I thought a cup of tea is supposed to be quite cooling, isn't it?
They say that, don't they?
Yeah, you're a Yorkshire man, of
Isn't this
course.
an SAS thing? Hot in hot countries and cold in cold countries? Like,
I don't know.
I think that's an SAS thing. Or maybe it's a...
Wouldn't that, if tea's no good in the heat, they'd never drink tea in Australia, would they? Hi, Mel.
Hi.
Oh, Hassan starting with a very full... Again, it looks like a bit of swing to me there. Turner piercing the cover and Myler mopping up. Running around from deep point to mop up the deep cover boundary.
Do we have tea in Australia often? Even in the heat?
You'd be amazed. We have TV and the internet.
Oh, I know that. It's just a cup of tea.
Can we actually have a discussion about Tim Tams?
Oh, okay.
Oh, the best biscuit in the world.
They're just penguins.
Oh no, they're not.
They are penguins.
They are. The penguins are a poor cousin to Tim Tams.
I just don't get it. They're all, don't be wrong, not bad. But they're just a penguin without the gag on the back. Are they?
Yeah, that's because you don't need a gimmick because a Tim Tam is that good.
I'm not sure that.
It's the quality of the chocolate.
So would the Tim Tam be your favourite? I actually love biscuits. So what my guilty pleasure? Would a Tim Tam be your number 1?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
Obviously.
But I try not to have them at all because you can't just have one.
Okay. Oh, that's a good bounce out. Geez, that is zippy from Hassan.
By the way, I am really happy that we are seeing the hair, and I approve of the sort of half man bun.
Yep.
Not enough of that.
Very good.
Because it means that he can
just the energy as he's running in, yeah.
Yeah, but it's also, you can have the sort of the cool of the 70s adjacent mullet without it being a mullet. Yeah. He was mullet adjacent, and I'm here for
hybrid mullet.
Yeah, but I stand by, like what we were talking about beforehand. The way to win this game is to take wickets, for sure.
Oh, a bit of a double bluff there from Hassan. He bowled a good bounce. So he put his leg side out as if he might bowl another, and he's gone for the full fast Yorker.
While you're talking about Tim Tams, I'm thinking about on home and away the amount of people that drink coffee. No one really has tea, apart from Alf. Is that normal?
It's not normal to watch Home and Away. Only English people do it.
There is a thing. People rave about Aussie coffee, don't they?
Yeah,
like say, it's better than here.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it is. No, it is.
I cannot tell the difference. It all just tastes like coffee to me. Is that bad?
Yes. No, it's got better here, I would say, coffee, generally. it's like people have learned how to make it a bit better.
Oh,
but
But you're
Oh.
well travelled, so which country has the best coffee?
So, city-wise, I reckon the two best cities are Melbourne and Wellington in New Zealand.
It's just coffee. It's the same beans. I don't understand.
I
I don't understand.
Oh,
You're talking-
Ollie,
the
Ollie,
beans
Ollie.
in Melbourne are the same beans that they import. Turner pulls this out for a single to Mouse, who does a tidy bit of fielding.
Yeah, but
It's the same beans coming from the same bit of Colombia, or wherever they come
Can we
from.
park our coffee for a moment, because that's the end of the power play, and we've been wanting to know for ages what the comparison is, so Aaron can put us out of our misery and tell us now.
he's a tea drinker.
No, I can indeed, yes. So the Bears were 74 for 3 at the same stage. The Lightning 55 for 3. And in terms of boundaries, very different. The Bears had already racked up 13-4. So I think the home side will definitely be the happier of the two. They've got the 3 danger men, Salts, Jennings, Butler out. So yeah, good start this for the Bears as we go back to our conversation about tea and coffee and beverages.
Surely it comes down to the water rather than the beans.
It's not just
That is actually so. I obviously grew up in Yorkshire and Birmingham.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yorkshire, which is renowned for its coffee culture.
No, but
And it's tea.
the water's different. So your cup of tea in Yorkshire tastes different to here. And when I first came down, you noticed the big difference. And I'll be honest, now I prefer it in Birmingham. I go home and I go to Yorkshire, I think, oh, it tastes a bit funny.
You don't say that when you get there, do you?
No, I promise I'd say I prefer it.
No spinner yet. Craig Miles now with
no.
over 7. Is this a strategy and a plan, you think?
Maybe Dave was just going with his gut. You know, he's seen wickets for seamers. Maybe he's seen something, or is there a bit of seam? Is there a bit of bounce in the wicket? I'm pretty sure we're going to see some spin relatively soon.
Or do you think they've sat there and looked at Lancashire when actually I think seam is the way to get to them?
Well, yeah, obviously Dave was out there at the start of the innings. Our batters have faced their bowlers. There might be the feedback that, seam is harder to hit. So, it might definitely be a tactic.
Interesting.
I always find it one of the fascinating things about cricketers is that you realise that how much people don't always know beforehand.
Oh, that's a good shot.
Yeah, it's just going to go over his head, isn't it?
He's tracked Milo again. Milo's just at his length there, dragged it back, and that's a very good shot from a back of a length delivery to play a sort of upright cover drive and go over mid off. That's a good shot, good shot. Not much Milo can do there. He adjusted when he ran, and Wellesley playing a great shot there. Well played.
17 for Wells now.
What I mean by that is that when you say, it seems to be sort of evening maybe where they've seen something that says, okay, the seamers are going to be more difficult to play. And so often we just assume that cricketers know that.
Well, I mean, as Wellesley has a bit of a hacky out for a single. You can have all the plans you want, but until you actually get out there on the pitch, we could plan to bowl spin all the way through the power play, but if you got to play the game in front of you, and if this pitch for whatever reason seems like seam's going to work more, then you've got to adjust quickly. You can have all the plans you want, but if the game doesn't go how you've planned it, then you've got to adjust very quickly and play the game in front of you.
But it's like that with pitches. I've already seen pictures, photos of the Lord's pitch 3 days out before a test, and people making all these assumptions. It's like, well, players don't even know what it's going to do until they've played half a game on it.
Yeah, and the groundsman could do all sorts. You could take grass off or roll it a bit more. Anything can change. Ball there by Milo. Had his entire leg side out there and banged it into the middle of the pitch to that big boundary. Very smart plan.
It's a bit cheeky, that one, isn't it? The day before you leave all the grass on, then first thing in the morning of the test, you just whip it all off very quickly.
It's also heartbreaking as a bowler. I'm like, yes, it's a green seamer, and then that morning the ground was nips all the grass off.
We thought this morning this looked a little bit greener than some of the others we've had for the T20 games.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll be honest, I don't know if it's a hybrid or not, but it's been a good pitch. I mean, 200 runs scored.
Oh, yes!
Chipped it to cover.
Latham with the catch, and Wells is on his way for 18. That could be a big wicket for a man who loves to score runs against the Bears.
Yeah, full of a length delivery there from Milo. Wells trying to be expansive, hitting it straight, and can only chip it to Tom Latham at cover. Yeah, that's a big wicket, so Milo will be delighted with that.
Well, to be able to come in after taking those first 3 wickets in the power play, just to keep chipping away, just stop anyone else from getting a real tear on, and Luke Wells looked like a player who could do that.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how Lancs play it from now. Just have a watch of this. Well bowled and well caught. the Lancs take it deep and say, listen, it's a small boundary, we can score 70 off the last 5 overs, so let's just bat normally up until then? Or do they think, no, we've got to keep going hard, you know, let's try to get up to the rate now? I'm not too sure, but it's certainly very interesting to see how they play it.
Well, that's the advantage of having put runs up first on, because now you're putting the pressure on Lancashire to make that decision. And if they keep taking wickets, and they'll be making the decision for them.
Yeah, 100%. If Bears can keep taking wickets, it's going to keep eating into that required rate. And keep pushing that run rate up.
Michael Jones is the new batter. 7 off Craig Miles' over so far. But that all-important wicket of Luke Wells.
Oh, good for Yorker, first ball.
Good ball as well, wasn't it? That completes 7 overs. 62 for 4 now, Lancashire. Here's Danny Briggs from the Birmingham end.
Canny Danny, here he is.
Jesse would love this at 62 for 4. This is right up his alley, isn't it?
Be plugging him in from this end. Bit of a this is the difficult end to bowl to the right-handers with a short leg side, so I'd imagine he'll bowl a lot of overs here from this end. The GOAT, as we call him, because he is the leading wicket taker ever in T20 cricket, the Blast in this country. Lots of subtle change of paces and change of lengths and lines and whatnot. Very clever bowler.
It's a very nice knitted Bears sweater there, actually. Yeah.
Get yours in the in the shop now.
I like the Bears kit, I've got to say.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? It's a bit of a throwback to an old Man United kit, an old England kit. There was an England kit a bit like this.
I like it with the yellow helmets. The yellow helmets are popping for me. I mean, I'm wearing yellow pants tonight, so I'm a bit of a fan.
Oh, he's picked him out.
He has.
He's picked him out.
Sammy Hain takes the catch. And Turner's on his way for 20. And that's 5 down now for Lancashire. And we're midway through over number 8.
You can see what he's trying to do there. He's been enticed by that short leg side, as you would be. Going for the big slug sweep, but could only pick out Sam Hain, who's giving it a big celebration there for that catch. And you'll be wondering why, because it's a pretty routine catch, but he dropped one early doors off Danny Briggs this weekend up at Durham. And now I love Hain to bits as a good friend, but it was a very simple catch that he dropped. And I think he's had a bit of the heebie-jeebies since then and a bit apologetic to Dan, so he'll be saying, there you go, pal, I'm back. And I think he looked towards the dugout saying, yes, I'm back.
Well, he just picked him out perfectly, didn't he? And this is just going exactly the way the Bears wanted to, and being able to just chip away with these wickets. And the fact that they've put such a big score on the board as keeping the pressure on Lancashire, they have to keep going.
Yeah, scoreboard pressure here. Lancs 5 down now, 64 for 5. Brings Chris Green to the crease. Canny spinner versus canny spinner.
Yeah, and you need to find something to rhyme with Green, I think.
Fresh on the scene, Chris Green.
Oh,
I like it.
There you go.
You're wasted, I've told you.
There you go.
Your future lies up here when you decide you've had enough.
What, serving drinks next door? In the hospital.
as long as it's not coffee, because I wouldn't trust you.
Yeah, let's get back to that debate.
4 singles from the over and a wicket for Danny Briggs. Wicket number
261 in the blast for Danny Briggs. Absolutely unbelievable stuff.
And sorry, of active, this is just one for you to look at. Of active players, Obviously, we know Sammet's not that far behind, but there can't be many more years left in our Sammet. We have been saying that for about the last 5.
Yep.
Do we think there's someone who at some point might catch Danny, or is this a fairly unassailable position to be in?
It's a tough one. It's a really, really tough one. I think in terms of active players, you've still got David Payne. He's still playing for Gloucestershire.
And what's he on?
I think he's on 200 now, actually.
Okay.
He's David Payne, 207.
Miles is back in.
No need to change much here for the Bears, I don't think. There's obviously a plan from this end to bang it in and use this big leg side boundary. In touch wood so far, this has gone exactly the way the Bears would have wanted.
It's just everything that they've touched.
It seems to be, yeah, bar that one over from Salt. But then Yatesy put that to bed with that brilliant catch, yeah.
Oh, that catch was unbelievable. It was so far past him.
Greeny just clips this out to deep mid wicket for a single.
I was going to say it was in the air for a little bit.
Yeah, Gats would have been interested for a short while.
When Chris Green was here, Aaron, I think that the big dream that was sold when he arrived was obviously a really good spinner, but actually very good at clearing the ropes as well. What was his batting record like when he was at the Bears?
Well, he didn't really bat too much.
Yeah.
That's why. I mean, I'll get the actual season stats after this over.
Thank you.
Banged in again by Milo. Jonesy tried to pull it. Not really timing it that well, just getting a single. Jones was at Durham previously. I think he's a Cumbria lad, so he's sort of that. Is he not?
No, he's from Ormskirk.
Oh, right.
Michael Jones. Yeah, he's from Merseyside.
He's gone back home.
Oh, right, okay, but he was definitely at Durham, wasn't he?
He was at Durham for quite some time, which is how he ended up playing for Scotland as well. Spotted up there.
He's a good young player. Ran up with a pacey, bouncy delivery. Really just able to tickle his down third man.
So can I just ask about that? Because so he ended up playing for Scotland. Is that partly because he was quite close to the border? Or
Yes.
That was the.
No,
this so loose. This qualification rules.
Geographical.
Have you got
just stand at Adrian's wall asking passers-by. You got any pads with you, pal?
It's not that far. And
we were discussing this morning the qualification process for Italy, which is a little bit squiffy in many ways.
But I'll take the.
Right move from Milo. Close.
Wow.
That was close.
That would have been amazing, by the way.
I think he was on the books at Swindon. He grew up in Swindon, or near Swindon, that part of the world. Oof. And he was on the books.
Aaron's nodding, so
he was on the books at Swindon.
That
was
would
close.
have been tremendous.
Here comes right boot. Kaboosh. Oh,
that would have been.
Wow.
Oh, and he eyes the camera.
Could have gone for the knee slide.
Yeah, good bowling here from Milo. He's just banging it into the middle of the wicket, both pace on, pace off, mixture of cutters and pace on deliveries. It's a very good plan with this boundary he's got to use. As Green tries something expansive.
He's delivered
it all the way.
That's a great shot.
Great shot. Backs away initially.
Yeah.
Ends up playing sort of a stand-up scoopy pulley thing. Goes all the way for 6. Great shot.
Term. Yeah, he did that the hokey pokey. And just gave himself room in the end.
That's cleared the ropes by some distance, doesn't it?
Good shot, that.
He's got that. But it was Paul Farnbase, I think, who said to me that when they sign Green, he can clear the ropes. That's what we want him for.
Listen, he's a cricketer who gets the most out of himself. He works incredibly hard on his bowling, batting and fielding. Gets the most out of himself without a doubt, and it's taken him all around the world playing his trade. So fair play to him.
The problem is they've got to keep doing that. They have to keep going if they're going to have any chance of winning this game.
Oh! Yes, he got it. Is he gone? No.
It looked tight. Umpire says no.
Oh, the old yes, no, wait, sorry dive.
It was a good bit of work. Who was the fielder? Was it Yatesy? At that point? It's a good bit of work. Mr. Jones has got to tidy himself up now.
Yes,
reassemble the stumps because Dave was knocked all 3 out. Short umpires hate that.
Your mate Widdop not interested there.
So can't you just take the blooming bails off next time? You don't have to knock all 3 out. Numpty. There he is, Wids. Played professional cricket for Yorkshire. Was an opening batter. Before leaving the game, teaching, and now he's back with a bit of umpiring. He's a good man. from Doncaster originally. Donny, what a good, nice cricket shot that is. In the pocket,
In the gap,
extra
yeah.
cover for 4. That's a lovely cricket shot from the crease, lofting it over deep extra cover. Well played.
See, I've been to Doncaster as well. I've been almost everywhere in the north.
Yeah.
Everywhere on the M62 corridor, including your hometown,
Yeah, Halifax.
Halifax.
Halifax. I was back up at the weekend for my niece's birthday. Nice to go home.
Oh, it's
Well, Dave, I was interested in the LB, and I'll be honest, I was as well, but Danny
Trixie
Danny
wasn't.
didn't seem that interested.
I almost thought the ball was going to roll back off onto the stumps.
I don't think Danny Briggs is asking the question to say, well, did he hit it? Was it too high? Same shot again.
Same shot again, another nice shot.
Not quite the same result this time, because Milo's there.
Work from Milo. You sort of get the impression they are thinking they're going to have to get going here. Jones is calling for a new bat. Not too sure what's up with this one, but he's not happy with it. Might have to wait to the end of the over till he gets it. Get his slogging bat out, because he's thinking, we need 12 and over now. I need to get on with it.
Yeah, once it gets up towards that, or past that 12 and over, especially only 5 wickets in hand now.
Yeah, it's tricky. I don't envy these length batters now. How you pace this? Do you just sort of go all guns blazing, and we might be all out for 120, or do you try to take it a bit deeper and then have a whack when you get to sort of 6 overs after? I'm not too sure. I'm probably not surprise you. Pacing and a chase in T20 is not my forte when it comes to cricket.
But again, that's real credit to the Bears, because they've given them that conundrum by the fact that they scored so many and that they've taken early wickets.
Yeah.
They did. One more to the total. Ollie's going to go and get a cup of tea or coffee. I'm not sure from which country or from where, the nicest he can find. And we're going to get a score comparison at this point from Aaron while Georgie comes in to join us. What you got for us, Aaron?
Well, we'll see the graphics shortly, but the Bears definitely ahead in both metrics. They were 105 for 3. In response to that, in the run chase, Lancashire are 85 for 5. So the home side leading in both capacities. And it's funny, Adam, we had that chat about Chris Green almost coming in to be that batting all-rounder as such for the Bears. He scored 40 runs in 5 matches, which included 5 fours and 0 sixes. So, yeah, didn't actually score a single 6 during his time at the club, but was a very shrewd addition, just firing in those arm balls. And speaking of a bowler who fits that archetype to a T for the first time tonight, we're going to see a little bit of Dan Mosley.
We saw a bit of him scoring some runs. What's he going to do with the ball from this pavilion end? Well, as usual, fired in. And very athletic in his fielding too.
I'm always disappointed whenever I watch him play that Dan Mosley doesn't come from or live in Mosley. I really am.
He did. He comes from kind of just up the road from me. That's a big one. It's a big one.
That has been absolutely dispatched by Chris Green. He's just said, you know what? I'm not having any of this. I'm not hanging around here. Got to see what we can get on the board here. And he has tonked it over the boundary.
So if we wondered how he was going to approach this chase, we've now had our answer.
Yeah, we certainly have.
Good comeback, though, from Mosley. That one right up there.
It's either going to be the fired in response or the bouncer, one of the two. Yeah. This is a good battle, this.
Yeah, just strayed. Lost his line a little bit there. And his length as well, just a little bit too full. Was the pace that he fires at in at, it leaves Green very little to do, just get bat on ball, and he's raced to 20 off just 9 deliveries.
Yeah, he's slightly getting the better of this early battle between these two.
But again, they have to go at this pace every single over if they're going to stay on top of it, or else leave themselves with a lot to do at the end. And the high risks associated with going at it in the last 5 overs.
They've got the 12 they need off that over from Mosley. 97 for 5 then, 11 overs gone. Scoreboard shining bright above the stand as the sun sets.
Shining bright for the Bears, for the local side. That's for sure. They find themselves in such a strong position at the halfway mark. Just beyond. For me, it's that it really is those 5 wickets in hand. That's the key number there on your screen.
I suppose as well, you look at the batting that's to come for Lancashire. Most of the players that you would have, the cheat codes as you referred to them, have been spent and gone, haven't they?
Yeah, well, it was those first few overs almost were leaving you shell-shocked. That's well bowled as well. Jones is having a bit more difficulty in getting the ball away. Green seems to be the one who's just finding the better connections. So if Jones can find a way to get down the other end, does so on that occasion, but just 1 ball remaining in the over for Green now. Green looks like he's the one most likely to push that run rate, keep it going.
Danny Briggs is just doing Danny Briggs things, isn't he? 100's up.
Oh.
There he goes again.
Well bowled.
That is so smart. That is precision bowling, just on that line. Obviously gauged by the umpire, but just still forcing him to have a waft at it, but wide enough. And just 3 runs coming from that over.
Yeah, that's outstanding. 1 for 15 off 3 overs. That's brilliant stuff from Briggs.
104 required then. There's the comparison after 12 overs, Aaron, and in control, really.
Yeah, definitely. And in fact, the thing I was going to bring up was when the 100 actually came up for both sides. So for the Bears, it came up in 9.3 overs. Of course, we've just seen it come up for Lancashire. So yeah, the Bears bowling very nicely here, bowling to their plans. And this is, for me, I think, the partnership. Of course, we haven't really seen the best of Michael Jones as of yet. 13 from 16, just playing the accumulator role for Chris Green, who's been hitting those boundaries with a bit more fluency. But yeah, the Bears would love to see the back of one of these two and expose the lower order of that Lightning side.
Garton's back, 3 for 21 so far. Which you kind of look at those numbers and go 3 for 21, eh? So you think, well, 20 of those did come over number 2.
He's amazing. The way his figures change after his first over and then his second over. But the first over was so key in the position that the Bears find themselves in now. Just that 1 over. Blistering start. Wow. That has absolutely rocketed off the bat. Full Yorker outside off stump. But Green has just timed the pants off that one.
The speed that has gone across the ground. A couple of bounces and then just rolled like it was on a snooker table.
Yeah, when it goes here, it goes quickly. And Green has just found a real fluency to his batting very quickly. But that one is in the air and gone. So just for good measure, booted back in. But just as he was looking absolutely superb, Green just miscues that one for Dan Mosley to take the catch, and the wickets keep falling. They've been able to just keep chipping away and chipping away, have the Bears, and this has been brilliant from them so far throughout the game.
We've seen some incredible catching in this game already. Didn't need it from that one. Literally straight down his throat. Pretty high. Sometimes can be difficult under those floodlights, but regulation catch in the end to get rid of the man who looked like he was going to be the only one really to put up much resistance at this point. And then the boot in.
And he knew it. He knew it straight away too. As soon as he hit that, look at that. It just banged the ground in frustration because he knew he didn't have all of it. He'd gone to the longest part of the ground. That's a pretty fair boot.
He's followed through with the Johnny Wilkinson drop kick.
That's nice work.
He's ready to watch the Lions next week.
He only had to take a couple of steps to his right, did Dan Mosley. Well positioned. And look at that, knew it straight away. Yeah, bat straight under the arm, didn't even wait.
Maybe heard us talking about Phil Salt being part of, American football and said, you know what, I can kick too.
Yeah. Dan can do most things, I think.
Is he one of those annoying people?
Yeah.
They're always really nice as well, those people, and you want to hate them and you can't.
I mean, you can.
Yeah, well.
but obviously only if you're a bad person. Yeah, I heard you talking earlier about, I can't believe that OHD isn't any good at tennis.
Oh, yeah. I
He
find that
looks
hard to
like he'd be
believe.
good at tennis.
So when it comes to the Lions then, Mel, where do you fall on this tour? Are you supporting Australia or are you supporting the British Lions? Or do you show, I don't like rugby, I'm not interested? That's the way to do it, isn't it?
Well, actually, rugby league is
your thing.
my code coming from New South Wales.
Yeah.
Which means I have a soft spot for Andy Farrell because obviously he's a former Wigan captain. But
I did actually listen to a State of Origin on my way in.
oh, well done. Yeah. To be
Didn't end
honest,
well for New South Wales.
cricket just it's so hard to keep on top of cricket.
Let alone worrying about any other sport.
I can't. I don't have any bandwidth, as they say, for any other sport.
That's a very good way of describing it.
See, I'm a triple screener of
Oh,
three different
really?
sports at
Can
once.
you do that? I do wish sometimes on some of those things they would do colour split screens.
Yeah.
I think I could live with that probably. But 13 overs gone, 107 for 6. I think comparison-wise, the Bears should be looking pretty good, Aaron.
Yeah, they are. So Lancashire 107 for 6. For comparison, the Bears were 136 for 3. So the home side well on top now. And as for George Garton, he's still got an over to bowl. These are his best bowling figures for the Bears. Not quite career best yet. Those were 4 for 16 for Sussex. But yeah, he's one away from what would be a maiden 5-wicket haul in the format.
Yeah, I was going to say, so it's 4 for 27, isn't it? 26? Something like that, isn't it? Yeah.
4 for 28.
4 for 28.
It was that partnership that got them to this position between Ed Barnard and Sam Hain. It was at this point, I think, at the start of the 14th over when they started to lose wickets, that partnership was broken. But it was a key partnership for the Bears.
Gleason's back.
Oh,
And immediately dispatched to the ropes.
that's a welcome back, isn't it? And now the emphasis with Green back in the dugout is on Michael Jones. It's a very clean strike. One bounce is all it takes.
1-1-1 for 6.
Oh, that's the silly unlucky thing, isn't it, that you do?
Yes, it is.
Australia has a much more sensible 87.
Oh, he's got him. He's got him. A little tickle from Jones, who's on his way for 19, and surely that's the last hope for Lancashire. 7 down for 111.
Yeah, jubilation this for the Bears. They can smell it now. He was the only man really putting up any more resistance for Lancashire. Goes for 19 off 20, having a big heave at that one. Found the outside edge and easily taken behind the stumps. He needs to go on his way and just watch now from the dugout. Hartley coming out to the middle.
I think confidence is high around the crowd because we're into Sweet Caroline,
Yes.
which is always a sign. Had a
that-
big heave. Hasn't
They've hardly put a foot wrong. There's hardly been an error with the Bears tonight. They managed to get some good partnerships going earlier, and now the bowlers doing their part. We've seen some great fielding on top of that. It's just been a really clinical performance so far. It's just 3 wickets now to go, and with that run rate required so high, I think we're heading for a big, big Bears win. Look at that smile on Gleeson's face.
Yeah, cricketers aren't like footballers, are they? They do celebrate wickets against their former team. Whereas obviously in football, if you score against your former team, you generally just go, oh. Whereas in cricket, it's like, yeah,
Well,
don't care.
I mean, in cricket, so often, how do you see it too? When someone plays against their former county, or some occasionally country, but usually county, it just brings out something special, doesn't it? In fact, Gleeson coming back in, we talked about how economical he's been. Well, he's been in the wickets as well, getting on there with that last wicket of Jones. Goes for the run out as well. Oh boy, that might have been interesting. They are all over Lancashire at the moment. What kind of a boost does that give the Bears as well? I think earlier OHD was talking about trying to build momentum at the right part of the season as we head towards finals day, and to be able to knock off the table toppers at this point, I think might be something that they can use to just push on perhaps for the rest of the season. That'll be the aim anyway.
Big game here Sunday against the Steelbacks, who've obviously, having won the first 6 and been riding high, have lost the last 4. So got Worcester coming up as well, and we've already chewed the pairs up once. Well, it looked like a chewing until it got a bit tight towards the end.
I think that's what makes it such an exciting tournament, that the games just come so thick and fast. Yes, you can be riding high after a match like this if they should come out on top of the table toppers, but then you've got to reset, think, right, use that motivation from this game and see what you can do, but also be able to turn it around and start again afresh, clean slate against another team in just a few days' time, because they do come so thick and fast, these matches.
Skewed the other way. It's a bit like World Cups, isn't it? Yeah, you do see teams go on a bit of a tear, and I kind of don't believe in momentum. As I realise we have finished the 14th over.
We have, yeah.
16 for 7. I wasn't sure if we were going to a break or not.
16 for 7.
There you go. There was an ad break. That was the worst throw to an ad break ever.
No one noticed. It's fine.
Gorgeous sunset out
Beautiful
there.
sky.
But yeah, you see that World Cups and that sort of tournament play where you see one team just start to click at the right time.
What I'm about to say might be ridiculous, but it won't be the first ridiculous thing I've said that you two have laughed at me for today. But this change to 4 points for a win, I think it's made it look... You look at the table and suddenly go, wow, look how far they are ahead. But because when it used to be 2 points, you'd be like, well, that's a long way to claw back. Now it's 4 points. It takes nothing. I know the difference shouldn't be, but it just looks different to me.
Actually...
Oh, he snicked off there.
A good stop in the
It
end
is a good
too.
stop from Gleeson.
I know you two don't want to watch other sports, but this is something that in the Netball Super League this year, they brought in the super shot. So in the last 5 minutes of each quarter, you can shoot from the outer part of the ring, and it's double. So it's 2 points instead of 1. And actually, it has made games so much closer, because you can be behind by 10, and then suddenly...
He got all of that. I think he did. And it made a wonderful sound off the bat. Hartley's having a go.
Isn't he just? It's like he's playing the super shot now. Yeah, then suddenly you drag yourself back in that 5 minutes. You get a couple of super shots in, they're double, and on you go.
Now, he just dragged his length back on that occasion, did Dan Mosley, and Hartley said, thanks very much. So he's still willing to have a swing, but look at that now. Only 32 balls remaining. Once you get past that, requiring 2 runs a ball, very, very difficult. Oh, it goes again.
Oh, he's got plenty on it to Blatherwick this time.
Well, I was worried there might have been a collision there out in the deep. We've had a few of those tonight, or that you've worried it might lead to something.
So 15 off the over, so there might only be 3 wickets left, but 73 off 31. We're not going down quietly here, Lancashire.
Oh,
Now that, I don't think he has got that as cleanly. Oh, just drop short. It'll be a 4, but once more.
gee. I tell you what, long on and long off have got their work cut out for them at the moment. And they want to be very careful that there's no head clashes out there.
Well, I think Yates is saying, I don't know, but it looked like a 4 to us from up here. But 135 for 7 then after 15 overs, so 69 required off the last 30 balls. It's a full toss again. Up into that beautiful sky.
Yeah, the sky looks great. Yeah, that's bounced just inside the rope, hasn't it? But a bit of an expensive over. And the way that these two have been batting, they've decided they don't care if it's more than 2 and over. The easiest way to get them is in 6s. Save your legs.
Danny Briggs to come in and bowl his last over then with 5 to go. 135 for 7.
It goes again. My goodness. Wow. They are trying to do it in 6s. That is an almighty blow, especially for Danny Briggs coming in. It felt like he was the one to maybe just put the brakes on things for a wee bit. But they're just going to keep on going.
Indeed, it's Hartley again. He's on to 18. Goes once more. And I think he's got all of it again this time. It is 6 more.
Put him up the order.
This is absolutely astonishing hitting from Hartley. He's got these long levers and he is just pulling them out of nowhere. Back-to-back 6s at the beginning of this over. Look at that, 24 from just 8 deliveries that he's faced. It's one of those just never say never when it comes to cricket.
Well, they have to be careful here too. I mean, logic tells you it's going to come unstuck soon. But the way he's batting, just absolutely fearless. That is tremendous stuff from Hartley. And Blatherwick going at a pretty healthy rate as well.
Well, you might recall, Mel, that it was a few years ago when the Bears had Northants in this kind of position and Northants just smashed their way to victory. It was one of those moments that you just want to forget.
Well, it's still good batting. There were still good batting conditions out there.
Yeah.
And they're chasing under lights. It's still a long way off, but already they've got it almost down below that to a ball. Just in the space of about 8 balls. Hartley, this is quite incredible. It's forcing a few little discussions here. Alex Davies.
I mean, it's still a huge ask, isn't it? 55 off 26, which is 3 wickets remaining.
And this time he's got it again, though. Hartley doesn't care. He says you can shove your odds because I'm going for it. My goodness, what a display of hitting we are seeing here.
They've added 44 in 15 balls.
Oh, he's gone all round as well. Where does he go now?
It's 20 off Danny Briggs' over. Oh, he hasn't got all of that one. This time. Oh, he couldn't quite get there. It was Barnard. He's taken a lump of turf with him, I think, as well, in the process. 16 overs gone. Then we'll get a score comparison. OHD's going to come back in while Georgie gets ready for the end of the show, or whatever we call it. Let's get a score comparison with Aaron in the meantime.
Yes, so in terms of the score comparison, as you can see, Lancashire 156 for 7. The Bears were 161 for 5. So, yeah, not many runs in it at all. Just the 5 between the two sides. The key metric there, though, is the wickets column. So, one breakthrough here and immediately the pendulum probably swings back in favour of the home side. But Tom Hartley's putting on a bit of a masterclass here.
48 from 24. Big intake of breath from OHD.
Yeah, we need to see the back of Hartley. He's come in and played brilliantly, hasn't he? Geez, some of those blows are brilliant. Briggs is a very, very good bowler, as we all know, and he's come in and played his shots against him. Left arm spinner to left arm spinner. You always like getting one up on the opposing person who does your discipline. Hassan Ali back can hopefully change it for the Bears.
Yeah, I think
Big
this
slow
over's
ball
key.
into the wicket. Yeah, that's well small bowled.
Yeah, just someone of his experience and skill, because Hartley was just making mincemeat of the spinners.
I do wonder here, the Bears normally bowl so much spin that the bowling the overs in time is never an issue. And I'm just seeing a few people rush around a bit. We've not bowled so much spin tonight, and the last thing you want to do is that Hassan was a brilliant Yorker that's dug out to the deep cover boundary. Last thing you want to do is be rushing or then have to have that extra person in the ring in the last few overs. So I just wonder if the Bears might be a bit tight on time here with bowling so much seam, something we don't normally do.
But meanwhile, in this over, just a couple of settling balls from Hassan Ali, and that's what you really wanted to see from him, just to rein things in. I've still got to go at more than 2 a ball.
Oof.
It clubs this out to long on. And
Yatesy takes the catch.
safe as houses. Bobby Yates. He's already taken a blind. Compared to his previous catch, that was like an underarm, that one. But yeah, takes the catch nicely. Nice little innings by Blatherwick there, you know, striking at nearly 200, 175. He's kept the impetus going there for his team, hasn't he? So nice little innings.
But it is the reintroduction of Hassan Ali that has made the difference as well. Comes in, keeps a tight start to the over, and then gets the wicket. That is absolutely key. This might be the over that just settles things a bit for the Bears after what has been an almighty onslaught.
The other thing that I know Ricardo, who's not with us tonight, is always hammering on about is that run rate, because the top of this table is tight. And if they could have got it done a bit quicker today, that would have been handy. But just to get it done is the priority, isn't it?
Yeah. Nice.
It's still a good catch, though, isn't it?
Yeah, good catch. Nice slower ball there from Hassan, little off cutter. There's a lot on Hartley now. Wood's a good cricketer, but he's not known for his tail ender whacking it. So he's not, not renowned for that. Touchwood is not tonight either.
Look, Wood's in.
First ball for top edge.
He heard you.
Fair play. It's helped that on its way. Haas going for the bouncer. It would just top edging it over the keeper for 4. Bit of a moral victory to the bowler, but the batter will be happy with the 4 runs.
It was the 20th wicket of this blast campaign for Hassan Ali. Top of the pile, is he?
For the Bears, yes. Not in terms of the competition, because Ben Sanderson and Riley Meredith have 24 each.
Oh, wow.
I think Sando's missed the last few games, hasn't he? He missed a few as well, so that's a hell of an effort.
Here it goes. So 1 ball now for Hartley.
Does he try a boundary, or does he get on strike for the next over? I think he gets on strike for the next over.
I think
he takes the medicine a bit here.
With 8 wickets down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that amount of runs needed, I think he has to take the bulk of them.
Oh, he's gone for it. It's a big, thick outside edge. It clears the 2-man side. It's well fielded by
They've come back for 2.
Well, are they coming back for 2?
Well, he's backing his partner. He's backing Wood.
8 off the over.
We saw that in the women's game, didn't we? But it was in the last over where they took the 2 and probably regretted it afterwards.
We'll see what happens when Luke Wood faces up here to Richard Gleeson. Aaron, comparison at this stage with the Bears?
Yeah, it's still relatively close, just 10 runs separating the two sides. So the Bears 174 for 5, Lancashire in response 164 for 8. That was a needed wicket to break that partnership. Wasn't the desired wicket of Hartley, but the fact is the Lightning only have 2 remaining. So even if they can pick off Wood and Anderson, the Bears can get the job done here tonight.
It's a big difference between 5 and 8 wickets, though, isn't there?
Yeah, that's the big difference. I'll be totally honest, I've still no idea what par score is on this pitch because, you know, obviously Lancs were 2 for 2. As Glees comes in, it's just a single. Wood doing his job there, getting Hartley on strike. But then for Hartley to come in and hit 30 off 12 balls, it must be a good pitch. So I've got absolutely no idea if it's 200 par or 20 above it or what.
I bumped into the esteemed Brian Halford as we were in the break, and he kind of agreed that 200-ish felt about right for a par, but actually that they should have probably got 220, 230.
Yeah, man. Hell of a cricket wicket. Well done Gary and his team, as ever.
And he was another one who thought just taking the wickets was going to be key, which looks like it has been key.
Oh, well
So
bowled.
Really well bowled. That's why he's got such good economy figures, right?
He's clever. I mean, he's got extreme pace. He can swing it, but he's also clever. He's got that sort of mindset of thinking like a batter. He's got the big loopy slow ball. I think Hartley's made it into a little bit of a Yorker, but it's a brilliant deliverer.
And you think about it as well from a cricketer's perspective. You know, T20 franchise cricket, it's given people like Richard Gleeson a fantastic living stroke career, hasn't it? In the sense that he's a gun for hire travelling around the world.
Yeah, and you can blame him. To go travel the world, especially in the winter, and play in places like South Africa. Jeez, it's a hell of a strike. Is it going to clear the boundary? That was coolly done, wasn't it? We've seen some good catches tonight, but under a bit of pressure there, that was very calmly done.
Did he put some gravy on that one? Did he put some mayo on it?
Yeah, but obviously just thought he overbalancing a smidge. Thought he'd chuck it up.
Is there anyone cooler than Dan Mosley in those situations?
A lot of people are cooler. No offence to Mark, please. If I'm naming the coolest humans I know, he's not high on the list. But what an innings.
What an innings. It's just what an innings from Hartley. When you thought that it was all over Red Rover, he just gave
his team a sniff, didn't
he? He really did. It was brilliantly batted. Almost was heading towards another 6 as well, and that would have made things really, really interesting. But Dan Mosley just realised how close the rope was when he looked down. He did it quite coolly in the end.
He did. Yeah, brilliant innings. He gave his team a
What's
chance.
the look down? Oops!
It's that sudden we're I'm going over
here.
What do we? So 165 for 9. Then Anderson's in. Here he is. By the way, the Talbot's Law player of the match. I suspect we might be seeing George Garton up here later potentially, or Barnard for his runs. One of those two, but. So the voting's online and the poll is on our X account right now. The Talbot's Law player of the match. And if Gleeson could wrap things up here.
Nicely played by Jimmy.
Yeah, nice Yorker there.
Managed to get it away.
Hopefully, barring anything crazy, Bears can wrap this up relatively quickly.
Big win this. Big game tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, top of the table. As Aaron said, 10 years now the Bears have beat Lancs at home, which is a good run to carry on. Is that 11 years now? Hopefully if this game is won. But yeah, top of the table. And as I said, the momentum you can build at this stage of the year into the latter stages is what you want to do.
No.
Slower ball.
Wood plays a glorious straight drive. That's a lovely cricket shot.
It was well bowled, and then it was actually really well played.
Gleeson took cover.
Yeah, it was a great shot.
Just 3 off the over though, leaving them at 37 off 13 balls.
Yeah, Hartley was the key to keeping things alive, I think. And it was
a brilliant innings, wasn't it?
It really was.
Gave him a sniff, gave him hope.
It made you know you got into that seat.
It was some great hitting. What's well bowled and well played actually. It's a fast Yorker. Double Richard Gleeson, 2 for 34 off his 4 overs. Well done, that man.
167 for 9 off 18. .37 required then from 2 overs.
I've just heard my first few bears. Just the last bit of the sunset. Look at that beautiful skyline. Looks absolutely magnificent.
167 for 9 off 18. Here's Hassan. Oh, he's given him! Hassan weighs in at the end as well. Picks up his 2nd wicket, and it's all over. Lancashire all out for 167. And it's victory for the Bears by 36 runs. Hassan Ali finishes with a 2nd wicket, and it's a crucial 4 points ahead of the trip to New Road to take on Worcester on Friday. The Bears are back to winning ways, and they beat the top of the table side, Lancashire, by 36 runs tonight. Excellent performance with the bat, and they followed it up with the ball. 36 looks comfortable. There were a few scary moments, but you feel that George Garton's first over probably made a massive contribution to that victory, and Hassan finishing it off in style.
Out that, didn't it? Full and straight, fast from Hassan. But yeah, what a victory. What a victory. Hassan knew it was out. And then he goes, says hello to his mate Jimmy Anderson, I think they're good pals from when he last was at Lancs. But yeah, what a great win. Top of the table, Lancs for the Bears to beat them today and move on up that table, hopefully. Yeah, that's a great victory, and can hopefully build a lot of confidence, can build a lot of momentum going into this important stage of this competition. Hopefully towards finals day.
I like the way Luke Wood is looking as if to say, really? Are you sure? I don't think there was too much doubt about it, really, unless he's thinking he hit it. But
He'd gone a long way across, hadn't he?
yeah, very much so. And, well, Alex Davis thumping the ground says what it means. So Mel and OHD and Georgie are going to wrap up today's proceedings. Hopefully as well, we'll have the Talbots Law player of the match coming up to join us. But it's a 36-run victory tonight for the Bears, and they're back hopefully on a new winning run ahead of heading to New Road and Worcester on Friday.
Every great team has its unsung heroes. The all-rounders, the heavy lifters, putting their organisation on the map. We're talking about you, the humble IT engineer, supporting EdgBLASTon across the season. They're the ones delivering, day after day.
The decade of dominance over Lancashire continues on home soil. Fortress Edgbaston remains a fortress for the Bears against Lancashire Lightning. They have beaten the top of the table side, convincing in the end, winning it by 36 runs. Lancashire all out for 167. OHD, I want to come to you for your initial reactions to that one. You must be pretty chuffed.
Yeah, it's a great win. As you say, Lancs top of the table have been the team to beat all all competitions so far, and full of absolute superstars. I'm sort of looking down the pitch there, looking at some of those Galacticos, your Butlers, your Salts and whatnot. So the Bears will be incredibly happy to win there, and win quite convincing in the end. I think that was a brilliant cricket wicket. I must say, I'm not entirely sure what par was still. I think both sides probably left a few runs out there. I think both batting sides will be a bit disappointed leaving a few out there. So it's a great wicket. But yeah, the Bears coming out on top, and those early wickets that we talked about in the Lancashire innings are sort of what's been key there, really. So for George Garton to take those early poles, that 2 for 2 in over number 1 was absolutely brilliant.
Mel, what do you think was the main point of difference today between these two sides?
Oh, I actually think that George Garton over. You should have an oval named after him after that over. It was that good. I agree. I just think that was so key because there was already pressure on Lancashire just because of the amount of runs that were on the board. But we knew that it looked like it was good batting. They were going to be batting under lights. It seemed like it was sort of set up when you look at the firepower they had up the top of the order. And it wasn't just the fact it was early wickets. It was the batters that he got out with those wickets. So just from that point, it just felt like Lancashire were on the back foot. They still had to work hard at it, but they just kept chipping away and they kept finding a wicket at every point where you thought that Lancashire might get back into it.
Yeah, it was just exactly what you would ask as a captain of your pace bowlers up the top, just taking those wickets. And what also was so important was that the Bears took those catches. Well, I know it's such a cliche to say catches win matches, but some of them, especially the one to get rid of Phil Salt, that could have been a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a brilliant ball, just in swinger after a brilliant bouncer. Absolutely plumb LBW. That's a brilliant bit of bowling to get one of the best players in the world out. And yeah, the momentum shifted a little bit here, didn't it? We saw Phil Salt play a few shots. I think went for 22 in the over. Looked like he was in and playing some brilliant cricket shots. Didn't miss time one. And I think this is Rob Yates's catch just as much as it's Gart's. This is one of the best catches you'd ever wish to see. Running full pace, diving, catching it behind yourself. What a catch that is, Yates. That's an absolutely brilliant sort of game-turning piece of cricket. Well done.
I think so often a side can be inspired by pieces of work like that.
But look at that. Look how far it was behind him. It wasn't just a bit.
It just popped that shoulder back in.
It was so far behind him. That was
superb.
Incredible catch. Look at it here. Just look how far he reached. It's a full arm length behind him.
And listen, we've seen some great bits of fielding out on that. Chris Green took a belter earlier in the game, didn't he? It's long forgotten now, but blooming, there's been some good advert for some good fielding this game already. That was brilliant.
I think what also was, I guess, for Lancs, obviously they've been well beaten here today, but it's the fight that they showed further down the order will be something they can take sort of heartening into their anyway, it's been a long day, but heartening into their next game is that they have got that firepower down the order. Yes, they were a long way behind by that point, but someone like Hartley being able to contribute with runs down, it shows that they have got depth in that side in the batting.
Yeah, if you've got a long batting lineup, it just goes to show that sort of games never run, and it definitely had the Bears, rattled a bit there. I was a bit nervous, I'm not going to lie. That clean hitting off a bowler of Danny Briggs's calibre was absolutely brilliant. So, yeah, although they've lost, still a very good side, Lancs, and probably not. They'll take a bit of confidence out of that lower order hitting.
Chris Green as well.
Yeah,
you look down that order with the two of them. If they'd managed to stay out there together, well, it might have been a different story. But they just kept at it. Did the Bears, even when they were getting hit around a bit. And I just think it was a really impressive all-round performance.
Yeah, we're taking those wickets, wasn't it? Those, especially the early ones, it just pushed up that rate initially, and then chipping away with wickets throughout just keeps you on top of the rate, doesn't it? So Bears will be very grateful of those early ones, and then to keep taking them, as we're seeing now, with another slow ball from George Garton, and mouse booting it into Kingdom Come.
We had some good reactions and celebrations tonight. I think I don't know which is my favourite actually, but George Garton when he got out Joss Buttler and went on the high need run. That might have been my favourite. The high need
galloping, that was a good one.
That was outstanding.
But yeah, you can see just the frustration there from Chris Green. He'd been striking it so cleanly, so well. It's only a couple of weeks ago, he scored his first class 100.
Yeah.
And so he's obviously in good form with the bat, and you can see there he knew he'd just not quite got enough of it. And while he was flying, I mean, he went along really nicely today. Finished with 26 from 14, 2 4s and 2 6s. And Tom Hartley, 35 from just 16, hitting 4 4s along the way. So that was the batting down the order, this one. Just the tickle through behind the stumps.
Yeah, Jones batted well, actually, didn't he, as well? You know, he played nicely, did a bit of rebuilding. Probably just got out when he didn't want to, when he was going to start playing a few shots, but played nicely up till then.
Another big celebration, flying off to Jupiter, that ball. But it was just clinical, actually, in the end from the Bears. They batted well. They managed to get themselves up across that 200 mark. We sort of said at the halfway mark, did we think 203 was enough? And we can't judge a pitch until both teams have batted on it. And we've seen both teams bat on it, and we've still got no idea.
Well, the way Hartley was playing, you'd say 300 was past.
Yeah, he was on the M40 that we all got to head back off on later.
I think it's a very good batting wicket, this. I think it's a good cricket wicket. Because for players to come in and play these shots from ball one, it must mean it's a good surface. So credit to the ground staff and Gary for putting such a good T20 wicket out there. It's exactly what people want.
And that's the thing. It's not just about the runs; it's wickets as well. You know, if you're out there and it sort of finishes 203 for 2, well, that's just one-sided, isn't it?
Yeah, and it just goes to show how, I mentioned very early in the commentary how that new white ball doesn't swing for long, maybe only 1 or 2 overs. So utilising that early, like George Garton did, and getting it swinging and getting someone as brilliant as Josh Butler out with a good in-swinging ball, exactly what you want to do. So some good skills on show tonight in the field with the bat and with the ball.
Dare we say it? Bears are back, baby.
Well, listen, it's a step in the right direction, isn't it? I think we're 4th before this game. We've got up to 24 points now. Why that leaves us in the table, I'm not too sure. But I'll say it again, it's about building momentum now, and if you can end these group stages sort of flying into the quarterfinals, it can accelerate you through those quarterfinals and into finals day. I've seen it before. We did it in 2014 when we won. We needed to win our last 6 games or something to qualify, and you just get on a run as a team. Yeah, you can build momentum, and it can really help you in the later stages.
Well, you'd definitely rather have a run at this part of the tournament than the first part, and sort of run out of steam halfway through the tournament. But exactly. I think it's a really exciting looking side. It was a complete unit. There was great work in the batting side. The bowlers came to the party. Even at the end there, Hassan Ali adding another 2 to his tally. He's now got 21 from the tournament, so he's flying through this tournament. And just to close things out at the end, the big celebration and the thank you. So yeah, it was a complete performance, I think, from the Bears tonight, with bat, with ball, and in the field, which is that third aspect you talk about, the 3-dimensional player. Well, it's the 3-dimensional team as well, and that's what they were tonight.
Yeah. And you saw that celebration by Alex Davies at the end, where he just thumped the ground. I think they'll take a huge amount out of this win and the manner of it, and the wickets that they took as well. The fact that they were able to just completely demolish that top order and do it just so convincingly. That in particular, I think they will take a huge amount. And there were, obviously, there wasn't like one massive score. Barnard did brilliantly, but there were lots of really important contributions and a very, very high strike rate as well.
Yeah, some good camera. Even Danny Briggs at the end, he scored nicely off not many balls, isn't there? But yeah, there's some good bases covered. I mean, Jake Lintop missed out tonight on getting selected, and he's been excellent for us for the last 6 years or something. So there's some really good bases covered with the ball. Alex Davis has got lots of options. Ed Barnard didn't even bowl tonight. I don't think Milo bowled out as well. So lots and lots of options for him to go to, given the pitch or given a matchup of someone he thinks going to do well.
So they can take heart from this game. Obviously, not a lot of time to rest on your laurels. You get a day off and then off to play Worcestershire on Friday away this time. What do you think the kind of discussions will be after this, or just more of the same, lads?
Probably more of the same. I think I have to wait and see what surface we're going to get Worcester. Whether if it's used, then Linners might come back in. If it's a fresh one, maybe they keep the same side. Glees is coming back from an injury. He didn't play back-to-back games. He missed the game at Durham because there was just a slight worry about him playing back-to-back games. So whether Glees plays again, I'm not too sure. That's something they'll have to decide. But yeah, more of the same in terms of the performance. It was very clinical. To get 200 was a brilliant effort, and then early wickets, as we saw with the ball, and being pretty pretty clinical throughout, and people showing what they can do with the ball is, you know, what the Bears want.
Team song?
I think they'll be singing it now. I think they'll be singing it right now. Try to get it done. So that might be the delay we're having with the man of the match coming up.
Oh.
But yeah, there will be a team song being sung down there very loudly, I'd imagine.
I can imagine so. I'm surprised we can't hear it through the floor. It's usually not quite the most in tune of songs, but you know.
No.
I'm just going to get ready to sidle out. By the way, I'll make way.
This was the winning moment and the end. And there it is. The celebration. I don't know who he's pointing to. I'm going to say it's us because I like to think it's us.
Yeah. Plum as they get this from Haas. And Wood's getting his finger up nicely.
Yeah, 21 now to his tally for the tournament. So he'll be pretty pleased with that one. Again, coming to the party, just cleaning up the tail at the end.
Yeah, that's when you want a ball when the tail come in and they're just having a hack. That's when you get your wickets. That's what you want. That's what you want.
And then off to see his old mate Jimmy Anderson.
Yeah,
at
like
the
I
other
said,
end.
I think they got on well when Hassan played for Lancashire. He calls him Jimmy Bye. So I think he'll have gone and said hello.
And Mel Farrell has disappeared, and we have a winner. Welcome to the party. I mean, back to winning ways.
Yeah, that's it. That's a nice one. That's a good feeling. Obviously, disappointing loss the other night, but to come here and beat a really strong Lancashire team is really important for the rest of the competition.
Yeah, and we were just talking about the momentum that now brings into it. How good are the team feeling? Have you seen everyone before you headed up, or did you get dragged away? Have you still got spikes on?
No, I've just kicked them off. Yeah, we sung our team song, even though a few of the lads stayed down to chat to some of the lads. We got up, sung the team song quickly. And yeah, like you say, it's given us some really nice momentum, especially going into the Derby game on Friday.
What was it about today's performance that just seemed that everything clicked?
I think just the confidence we took in. We obviously spoke after the game the other night, and we didn't feel like we quite attacked the game like we'd like to have done. But yeah, the way we played that power play, I think it's our best of the season easily. Everyone played their shots, and we knew it was a good pitch with a small boundary. So yeah, to go out positively like that and get a 200 score on the board against, like we say, a really strong Lancashire team was crucial. And
then coming back fighting in the field as well, there was just incredible work, not just with the ball, but in the field as well. The catching was just chef's kiss.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's something we've prided ourselves on the last couple of years, and we probably haven't quite been at our standards this year. So to come and put in a performance like that, and I mean that Yatesy catch is the best catch I've ever seen, hands down, like not even close. So I think he didn't see it the first half because of the sun. So we've seen him do it in red ball cricket in the slips, but to see that, and especially as it was Salt, who's obviously such a dangerous player as well, was crucial.
Yeah.
And he just got going, Ante. He started whacking it. You know, it looked a great pitch to me. I wasn't too sure what par was.
Yeah, I think at halfway we probably would have liked 220. I think, especially from the position we were in. But any time you get 200 on any surface, really, it always puts the opposition team under pressure. And then Gart's bowling that brilliant first over just really set the tone and allowed everyone else to do what they do.
Yeah. Was that the kind of discussion when those 2 wickets went down? You're like, right, we're really in this now.
Yeah, I think so. I think we spoke before about we always try and take at least 3 wickets in the power play. There's some really nice stats around that, especially against Lancashire. So that was a big thing that Davis said. So when you get 2 in the first, it makes it a lot easier. But yeah, we knew the ball was going to fly around a bit because it was a good pitch and short boundary. Even when Tom got going at the end there, we stayed calm and everyone stuck to their plans, and we knew we could see it home. Was there ever a sort of worrying moment? Because I know someone here who was slightly palms getting sweaty, mum spaghetti kind of situation. Yeah, slightly. The game's never over till it's over, is it? I know it's a bit of a cliche, but yeah, there's a little bit in the back of your mind. But I backed our bowlers. We've got some high quality out there. Obviously, Glees coming back into the team's amazing. Hassan's one of the best out there. So yeah, I had no doubts. No doubts. I like that. And so you've got a game coming up in just 2 days' time. What do you take from this, and what do you have to work on, build on, and look at to go and play against Worcestershire? Yeah, I think obviously we just want to take that momentum. Like I say, we've played really nicely here today. It would have been nice if maybe one of us went on with the bat. That might be a thing to get a really big score. We could have got that 220. But yeah, I think it will just be resting up tomorrow. It's a pretty hectic schedule, obviously 3 and 5 days. But yeah, again, hopefully that allows us to take that momentum and put one over the pairs. And hopefully it'll be your voices that are sore from singing the team song too much. But something that was an absolute screamer that would affect the voices was this catch from Yates. So I just want to get your reaction to this because it was astonishing. Yeah, it's like I say, it's the best I've seen. He didn't see it the halfway out the sun, and then to catch it behind him and low is just outstanding, really. In front of the Hollies, I'm not sure about the celebration. I think we'll rib him about that one for a bit. But yeah, it's pretty special. And like I say, I think the the part of the game it was as well, and the player it was to take it makes it even more spectacular. And
he just got going, and he nailed it. He's nailed it hard.
I think he's just topping Bethel's last year.
It's one of those ones that every time I watch it, I think it's not going to happen. I get it with the sort of 2019 World Cup final. I think they're not going to do it. Every time I watch, even though I've seen it 100 times, every time I watch this catch, I think he's not going to get there. So, yeah, astonishing bit of work, and something like that can really inspire a side, not just in the game, but sort of going forward. And, well, it's been clinical, really, from you guys tonight, so you must be feeling pretty chuffed. What would you say on a out of 10 for today?
Yeah, I think probably 8 or 9. I think it's not far off perfect to get 200 then to bowl the opposition out. Like you say, there's always stuff to work on. Obviously, we'd have liked a few more, but yeah, when these sort of games, they come thick and fast, you can't hold on to too much. So it'll just be resting up tomorrow and then getting down to New Road and, like I say, hopefully getting another win and putting ourselves in a good position to qualify again. Yeah,
and we've come into sort of the pointy end of the competition now. You've got that momentum, obviously. How important would it be to try and secure a home quarter-final?
Yeah, obviously crucial. Obviously, we love playing here at EdgBLASTon. It's an amazing place to play. The fans are brilliant. We know the conditions well, but I think first thing is just to qualify, just to get in that top 4 is the most important thing. And then obviously, if we're in a position to push from there, we'll hopefully try and get top 2. But yeah, we've probably been a bit mixed this year as opposed to the last few years where we've probably been a bit further up at this point. So it'll be a good test for us. But like you say, this sort of performance puts us in great stead going forward. And yeah, hopefully we can take that momentum into the quarterfinals at some point.
Yeah, and I guess what's really heartening as well is that, you know, you lost the toss, were put into bat, but you showed that you can bat first and win, but also then the idea that you'd be able to chase as well. So I think that's, I guess, something really heartening to take into the latter stages.
Yeah, I think we've done it well both times, sort of all throughout the season now. We've chased a couple of times really well and really clinically, and now we've had a really good batting first performance. So yeah, if we can get at least 2 more in, it would be nice, and then qualify, and then yeah, hopefully finals day. Here we come.
For finals day.
Well, that's fingers crossed. Let's get to the quarterfinal first, shall we?
To me. What a plan.
Sounds like best day of the year if you ask me.
Yeah,
finals day.
Is.
Oh, we just keep the rain away.
Get the packed hollies. Get a packed
hollies. Nothing really beats a packed hollies on finals day. Well, we won't keep you any longer because you've got a team song to go and sing. Thank you so much for joining us.
No problem.
Yeah, so convincing win today for the Bears. The decade of dominance over Lancashire Lightning here at Fortress Edgbaston has continued. I don't know what 11 is. 11 years of dominance. Yeah. That's what we'll go for. It's been absolutely incredible to bring this game to you tonight. What an astonishing display of cricket we've seen, especially from the home side, the Bears. They have beaten top of the table Lancashire Lightning by 36 runs. That is all from us tonight at Edgbaston. Have a lovely evening, and I hope you've enjoyed this just as much as we have.